The Oswego State Great Lakers return home tonight to take on the Elmira Soaring Eagles. Welcome to Laker pregame. I'm TJ Hatter. Jay Harris and I will be on camera in a minute, but first we want to kick it over to the best-looking guy we've got at this pregame show, Adam DeSantis. Adam.
Thanks a lot, TJ. I'm joined now by defenseman for the Elmira Eagles, Matt Gosselin. And Matt, last night both of these teams skated to a 3-3 tie. Tell us a little bit about the game, just what the scoring was like. Just can you give us your information on what it was like in that game?
It was a good battle back and forth. Both teams played well. Sort of dampened by the referee calling probably over 60 minutes of penalties on both sides. So not a great flow, but a good battle.
Now, you just mentioned the referees. What is it about the referees that was making them call so many penalties last night?
This year, the coaches asked the refs to call the rules by the book, and that means to call it a lot tighter, and so they have been. And just increase the penalty minutes and start taking away from the flow of the game.
Now, for the folks that might be seeing this, there's a lot of fog on the ice right now. Is that going to affect the goalies at all, maybe on how they see the puck, or will that clear out as the game goes along?
As the players, it's already cleared up a little as they took warm-ups, and as the game goes on in the first period, pretty much the fog should be cleared up.
Now, Oswego is a pretty talented team. I think they're ranked 9th in the country going into this week. What type of a game plan are you guys going to have? I mean, you skated for them to the tie last night. What things do you have to do to be successful against Oswego?
You just got to skate well all over the ice. You got to get the puck in deep, forecheck hard. We learned last night that some of the defensemen can be beat wide, especially in the big barn here versus our small rink. If we take them wide, we should be pretty successful.
For many of the folks maybe that don't know anything about Elmira, give us some of the players to look for on your team that are some of the stronger skaters that you have on your squad.
Well, we got Jared Conkle, he's a senior. I think he led the nation D1 and D3 in power play goals last year. Really good shot. Our captain, Chris Mann, on defense with Morris. And Greg Fargo, our goalie, has been playing unbelievable so far. So if he has another good game, it should be a good battle again.
And last night the game went to overtime. Do you expect another close, hard-fought game tonight?
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, Oswego's 9th in the country right now, and we're battling to get in the rankings. So I think it should be a good, close game.
All right, Matt, thanks a lot for joining us. We expect a good game tonight. All right, I'm going to send it back to TJ.
Thank you very much to Adam DeSantis, who is joining us throughout the evening here on Laker pregame, Laker in-game, as well as Laker postgame. Very important part of our team, and he looks good in his pink shirt. Turning now to the Oswego State Great Lakers and the Elmira Soaring Eagles in the game, who's probably going to include a lot of tricks, and hopefully, if you're a Laker fan, a lot of treats. This is the second night of a back-to-back as the Oswego State Great Lakers have played the Elmira Soaring Eagles last night. The Oswego State Great Lakers are undefeated, despite the fact that they did not win last night. Last night was a 3-3 tie for the Oswego State Great Lakers. Their first tie of the season. Jay Harris joining me, TJ Hatter, on Laker pregame. Let's talk a little bit about the game last night and how it could play into tonight's game.
Well, obviously, going into last night's game, Oswego being up, coming out in the second period and scoring those 3 goals, Elmira bouncing back, coming back to tie the game, giving Oswego pretty much the game with all the penalties that they've given them, coming back, scoring shorthanded goals, and tonight, you never know, with those penalties, maybe it's going to give this game a little bit more flow to it. You can see a high-scoring game. A lot of shots again, I see that.
Well, there was a lot of intensity last night, Jay Harrison. You bring up a good point. I want to talk a little bit more about that. If last night's game was any indication, this could be a high-scoring game, especially because there's a goalie change for the Oswego State Great Lakers tonight.
Yes, Leonhardt obviously taking this one out. Being a goalie, it could be psychological. It's all mindset. When you take the goalie out, it also gives your team a new style of play. They have to protect that new goalie that's in there that hasn't played before. This is a freshman goalie, and he's coming in playing his first game. The defense needs to step up and protect him. Leonhardt, on the other hand, sitting this one out, maybe it's a different strategy for him. Taking a night off, taking a chance to look, seeing what he can do, seeing somebody else in his position. Maybe he can change the style he's playing if he sees it from the outside.
Now, the Lakers could be considered fortunate to come out of last night with a tie, and although Elmira did lose some people to graduation last year, they proved they have some firepower.
Oh, they sure do. Going back to the game against Geneseo last week, Elmira coming out 5 goals in 1 period. And then again, last night being down, they know when they have to score their goals, and they've shown that they can get the job done. Losing in overtime to Geneseo, but they've gotten the goals to tie and stay even with the team they're playing. And last night they did the exact same thing. Also, you have your leading scorer, Jared Conkle, for Elmira, but you also have goals going all the way down, almost to the end of your roster. Even freshmen, as in Tyler Schremp, coming in and adding in a goal.
Well, we talked a little bit about just a second ago, fortunate Oswego perhaps to get out of there with a tie. Last night, Oswego's Brett Leonhardt faced just 22 shots, allowed 3 goals. Meanwhile, Elmira's Greg Fargo faced 42 shots and allowed only 3 goals. Law of averages says that if Oswego can take that many shots again tonight, they should have a good evening.
Taking your shot is one step closer to getting yourself a goal, which is another way to get yourself the lead and the win. 22 shots, sometimes if you don't face a lot of shots, you might wander off. Your mind might wander off. You're not used to facing a lot of shots. You can let in single goals and a lot of goals. On the other hand, 42 shots, you're facing a lot of shots. You're constantly in the game. Stopping those pucks, you're used to seeing what's coming at you.
Oswego and Romney is rocking right now on this Halloween weekend. We have the band playing in the back. We've got the fire coming up from the ring. It's the atmosphere that you like when you go around the field. This could perhaps be the last season that Oswego plays all of its games, home games, at the Gold Romney Fieldhouse. It's a very good atmosphere for this Halloween game tonight. Talking about tonight's game, though, despite the fact that Oswego has yet to lose on this young season, they're 2-0-1 on the year, and Elmira has yet to win. They're 0-1-1 on the year. These two teams are a lot more evenly matched than that.
Yeah, obviously they are. They know when to score the goal, being behind and having the lead in both games for them. They've had to deal with different situations. Also, a lot of penalties, which changes the style of play during the game. When you have a lot of penalties, it slows down the game. You don't get that flow of the game that you want to see. Also, power plays. Oswego opening up on power plays. 3 of 16 last night. That's pretty good. 16 power plays. That is a lot. Elmira not so fortunate. 9 chances, but they didn't score any power play goals. But they're an even team. Both have shown that they can come back over diversity, coming back from being down.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit more of that on Elmira's side. I mean, They were up 1-0 going into the third period. Then Oswego turned it on. They scored 3 quick goals, and then were up 5-on-3. And Elmira somehow came back to tie.
Yeah, come back to tie, short-handed also. They gave them the chances, Oswego. They almost gave them the game away, but they came back, they fought, and they got the balance scoring, and they came out and tied up the game. Didn't get the win, but they tied it up, and they're still on that level playing field. And you should see a tough game tonight. I see them coming out, obviously changing and shutting down the shots that they've taken, and they can come out tonight. If they can turn it around on this young goaltender, you might see Elmira coming up with a few more goals than they've had.
All right, well, that's how last night's game could affect tonight's game. Let's talk a little bit about the X factor tonight. That's goaltending. With the Oswego Pickering Lakers making a goalie change, and Elmira's Greg Fargo, who absolutely stood on his head last night just to keep Elmira in the game. My question to you is, does Elmira have to have that kind of performance with Greg Fargo to stay in this game?
Absolutely. Greg Fargo needs to stand on his head. If he's going to take all those shots, that's your last line of defense, that goaltender. He needs to stop everything that's coming through. Even if it's a down-the-ice shot from all the way at the other end, he needs to stop everything that comes his way. And last night, he obviously proved that, stopping anything that was in his way, letting in 3 goals, but he had a lot of shots coming to him. And he needs to stand on his head also. But the defense needs to shut down, make sure those shots are to the outside, keep those shots to the outside, and I think you'll see that tonight. But he definitely needs to stand on his head if Elmira wants to battle back against Oswego. He's putting up shots from everywhere.
Especially because of how balanced and dangerous this offense of Oswego truly is.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting scoring all the way down the line from every different play. You have balanced scoring, which builds chemistry also. Everybody's scoring. There's not that one hot shot who's getting all the goals and all the assists. It's a balanced scoring period, and everybody's looking for everybody to get in the goal. Being the assists, power play, looking out for everybody else.
Turning to the new netminder for the evening for Oswego, Ryan Scott will make his first career start tonight for the Lake Show here at home at the Golden Romney Fieldhouse. Can you give me a sense of what kind of pressure he's got on?
He's on a lot of pressure coming into this game. Maybe not as much as Leonhardt has said now, but he's coming in there, same situation as Leonhardt is, coming in as a new goaltender, facing a new situation. But that's also at the same time really exciting. Coming into a game, having a battle against a new team, and coming in and wanting to get that win for Oswego. They tied last night. This can be the step for him to showing them that he can't beat their goaltender. Right now it's a battle. You want them to come out and show them who's going to be the starting goaltender on this team.
Many, if not most, of Oswego's hopes for this season rest on the shoulders of the young goaltender, Brett Leonhardt. Last week against Utica, we saw why they are there, because he was so good. He was terrific. He showed the raw talent. He showed the poise that got him to this position to begin with as the lead goaltender for Oswego. Last night, he did a little bit of a stumble in that he faced only 22 shots, let in 3 goals for the Oswego State Great Lakers up at Elmira last night. Can you talk to me about what benefit, if any, he has by not playing tonight?
Well, like I said before, it clears his mind. It gives him a chance to settle down. He's played absolutely great. Last night he stumbled a little bit. Maybe that's what he needs, a chance to settle down. He's a young goaltender. There's a lot of anxiety and a lot of pressure on a young goaltender because he's so full of excitement coming in. Give him a chance to settle down and come back. He's proven that he can stop those plays. Keep him in the game. You go back to last week against Utica. They had took a lot of penalties in the third period, and Utica could easily have came back, but Leonhardt stood on his head.
In the interest of full disclosure, I'm a big Brent Leonhardt fan.
Yes.
Let's talk about the possible negative of not playing him tonight.
Well, it also keeps him in as a fresh goaltender, many action. When you have a young goaltender, feed him to the wolves, keep him going, keep him hungry. Even if he stumbles, keep playing him. Make sure he gets all those shots. Make sure he understands all the situations that he might be in. Disappointment of sitting him tonight could be that he's not facing all those situations. He might get a relaxed state when he's out of the game like this.
Okay. As we turn to Elmira now, the team that did a very good job last night to tie the Oswego State Great Lakers, now they're coming in here to Rodney. They were at home last night. That advantage is now gone from them. Is there a big difference for that team from home and away, especially with Oswego? Oswego, very good at home.
Yes, very much so. 2 things here. When you're at home, you're excited, the crowd's on your side. But that, yes, exactly. For here, you know Oswego's going to be jumped up in this game. Elmira last night, you have the home crowd behind you. You're very young in the season. You want to start winning. That also can be a disadvantage because you could get overexcited. And last night that happened. Coming back to tie Oswego, but they were taking a lot of penalties, and it almost gave the game away to Oswego. Tonight, you're on the road. Sure, there's a lot of commotion, but it's also easier to concentrate and play your game when you're on the road.
Oswego State, good things for them. Home ice and quick leads. If Oswego at home gets a quick lead, you can pretty much count on a good win for the Oswego State Great Lakers. Let's go to Elmira and their ones to watch. Some of the players that gave Brent Leonhardt trouble yesterday, and some of the ones that Ryan Scott and defense going to have to look for. Jared Conkle in particular. He has been the best player, the best scorer on the Elmira team. How much focus do the Oswego State Great Lakers want to put on him specifically?
Well, a lot of focus. He has 2 goals and an assist in 1 game. He can score, and he can also find the players that are going to score. You need to shut him down, especially when he's coming into the zone. Shut him down as much as you can. But there's also emphasis all the way going down the line of goal scorers that can sneak up. But the one emphasis that you want to put on Conkle has really stood up in the last couple of games. You want to shut him down, close him out so he can't find the players that are going to score and also not get those goals that he's been scoring.
There are two trains of thought when it comes to star players and stopping star players. They are the play everybody equally and let him get his theory, and then there's the let anybody else but him beat you. When you're Oswego, if you're Oswego tonight and you're putting out the game plan, when it comes to Conkle, which one do you go?
Well, I say that you shut him down instead of balancing
let anybody else
out.
beat you.
Yes. Because that way anybody else can sneak up when you go in there. You want to make sure that you take him out of the game because right now he's on that streak scoring goals. When the player's on that streak, he's going to find ways to score. And it also, when things go his way also, he can take a shot from center ice and it can bounce. When goaltenders are scoring goals a lot, those funny things happen.
2 goals and 1 assist for a total of 3 points on the young season for Jared Conkle. You're one to watch for the Elmira Soaring Eagles. Let's talk a little bit about Oswego now. Oswego has so many different scorers. They're so balanced. We've talked ad nauseum about the balance that this offense has. Is there a one to watch for Oswego, or is their offense just so potent that you can't focus in on any one guy?
Well, both ways. There is a few players that you have to look out for that can jump out, but it's also so potent and it's balanced out that it's really kind of hard to play that. Every time they're on the ice, each line can go out and score a goal for you, and that has been proven in their last couple of games. But the one player that I look for is Tony D'Annunzio has come out and he's played solid, scoring goals, and he's a freshman. Coming out and he's been physical, extremely physical, taking penalties, finding the people that need to score the goals with assists and scoring goals this season. help out Oswego Lakers.
There are, of course, lots of other people to choose from on the Oswego State Lakers. All-American Don Patrick, forward Ryan Woodward, who scored last night, Andy Rozak, Sean Katari. So much balance, so much talent for the Oswego State Great Lakers. It's no wonder they got 42 shots on goal last night. We mentioned law of averages. Law of averages says that if you can shoot 42 times, you have to be able, eventually it's going to go in. What made last night different? 42 shots on goal, only 3 goals. Usually when Oswego gets that many shots, they demonstratively outshot the other team. It was 22 to 42. That's 20 extra shots on goal for the Oswego State Lakers. Is it just how good last night the Elmira Soaring Eagle goalie Greg Fargo was?
Yes, I was just about to say that. Greg Fargo stood on his head. When you get those shots, yes, they're going to go in. 3 goals went in last night, but it could have been a lot more. They could have absolutely blown out Elmira Soaring Eagles last night. But Greg Fargo stood on his head, stopped anything that was coming their way, and that frustrates a team like Oswego that knew they could have had that game, and they kept making those shots, but they just weren't falling in because of Fargo standing on his head and playing an absolute dominant game.
Greg Fargo and Ryan Scott, Oswego State Great Lakers, Ryan Scott, Greg Fargo for the Elmira Soaring Eagles, under the gun in front of the net. I have a feeling tonight, Jay Harris, that it's going to come down a lot. It always does, but especially tonight with goaltending. Second night of the back-to-back, all the penalties last night, all the physical play, probably a lot more shots on goal.
Yes, they're going to watch those penalties tonight. I see that. So you're going to see a lot of flow to it. You're going to see a lot of shots. Elmira's not going to sit back and let only 22 shots go on goal. They know what happened last night. They're going to come back and test this young goaltender early. That's their one main focal point. Is they're going to want to test this young goalie for Oswego really early, get a lot of shots on him, see if they can stutter him into letting up a few early goals and getting him taken right straight out of the game.
Okay. As you take a look at center ice at the Golden Romney Fieldhouse, the beautiful Golden Romney Fieldhouse, Pat Bailey will be your color commentator and play-by-play guy tonight. We are simulcasting with WNYO, and we hope to send it to you soon. As a matter of fact, let's just go there in the next couple minutes. Pat Bailey will take over for tonight. We've got a new guy. I don't know his name. I don't know if we should talk about him. He's going to be the color commentator tonight alongside Pat Bailey. We won't promo him yet, but you'll recognize him if you've been watching TOP for a while. Let's talk a little bit about, with this game, the possible role for Oswego with their coming schedule. Oswego not at home a lot this semester. 2 more home games for the rest of the semester. Talk about the importance of playing well in this first semester at home.
Well, obviously, you don't have those home games that you want when you're first starting off the season. Getting used to things, it's easier to get used to things when you're at home and play the style of game that you want to play. You're not afraid to take chances when you're at home because you have so many things behind you. When you're at home, you have to win these games. You don't have a lot, and it's so much difficult to play on the road. Nobody's behind you, you're on your own, and you have to trust yourself, and sometimes it's hard, especially with young freshmen coming into the game. They have to step up on the road. These home games here are definitely important because you have to get wins, and you have to get them now.
The way the Oswego schedule is constructed puts a lot of the away games up front. Why do you think it was constructed in that manner? To bond this team together earlier? I'm sorry, the band is playing, we can't hear each other. Yes. The Oswego schedule was constructed with a lot of away games early on. Was it constructed that way to bond this team earlier? Because with away teams, you only have to, when you're away, you can only rely on each other.
Yes, I think so. I think this is the time when you come together, you feel each other out, you become friends with each other, you trust each other, you know how each other plays, so you can find them on the ice, get those goals. The away teams, when you play on the road, you have to make sure that these few home games that they gel that much so they feel comfortable when they go on the road. You're in a different environment, and they have to gel when they're on the road and get those wins. And I think that's beneficial for them right now. So far, they've stood up on the road, winning 1 and tying 1. Let's see if they can keep that going, and I think they definitely need to, especially this portion of the season.
All right, so Pat Bailey and Joe Keller. I teased you before. Joe Keller and Pat Bailey are your play-by-play and color commentator team in the booth. We're going to send it over to them right now. We'll see you after the first period.
For tonight's Game 2 of the NCAA Beach Suniac Conference, we're going to take a quick break right now. Stay with us. We're going to play the Canadian and American national anthem. Elmira. Good evening, everybody. I'm joined alongside Drew Schiavi and Joe Kelleher in a few moments. But Drew, last night's game 1 of this 2-game series in Elmira, the Lakers had a meltdown. They were up 3 goals to 1 goal. 4 minutes to go in the third period. They're on a 5-on-3 advantage. All of a sudden, somebody lit a spark under Elmira because they scored 2 shorthanded goals to send it to overtime, where the Lakers could not pull out a goal, neither Elmira. So we ended in the sister kisser of a tie, 3-3.
Well, Pat, it's the type of thing where everybody's talking about how Elmira scored the 2 shorthandeds, like somebody really lit the fire under Elmira. But this is another symptom of what could be seen as a problem with the Laker defense. This was supposed to be the strength of this team, and with guys like Dufour and Stroda, the emotional center of the squad, and yet they've only played really acceptably well, except for the first few games when they looked impressive. If this continues in a downward slide, it could be big trouble for Oswego this year.
Was last year. I know it cost them in Elmira early on. It cost them in the Suniac Championship. They were up a couple goals, and that put a team away. But it was last night. This is tonight. We're ready for the drop of the puck. So they should send out the point line of Don Patrick, Joshua Ford, Ryan Woodward, Ryan Koreski, and in goal tonight, a freshman doing his first start for the Lakers, 33, Ryan Scott.
Definitely keep an eye on Ryan Scott this evening. Both you and I have spent a lot of time around this team, and even when he was just coming back from injury, he looked as though he was a goalie who could make all the saves.
There's so much certainly about this freshman goaltender. We'll get to see him tonight. Face-off was won by Elmira. We're underway here from the Romney Fieldhouse on the campus of Oswego State University. One of the few games left here at the Romney. Puck up play, here comes Elmira, 2-on-3. That's number 23 takes a slap shot with defense. That was Justin Siebold. Puck's out, brought up by Oswego. This is the Duboard. He's got Patrick with him. Cross the blue line. Lakers look for a change. They get it. Duboard hauled down. We're going to have a penalty.
It's going to be a delayed penalty on this play.
Delayed penalty is Detroit, and Jocelyn Duboard was hauled down, so nothing, no surprise. 30 seconds into the game, we have a first penalty of the game.
You know, Pat, just something I noticed even in the opening minute, Oswego looks like they've really come out with a lot of fire. I saw a couple guys already trying to make the big hit. I would think maybe they really realized that they melted down last evening, and they're trying to make a comeback to play better and take a win home tonight. If you watch Elmira's defense, they're doing a great job of staying right at home. They're not letting Oswego set up a good screen. I'm sorry, keep going. Nobody home on the backdoor part of that rebound, or Oswego would have had a decent scoring chance, but the puck just didn't bounce their way. 45 Oswego. And that's just another squandered opportunity by Oswego's power play. They really could have afforded to come out and make a statement here after their meltdown last night with 8 minutes of 5-on-3. As you said, they weren't able to capitalize. This is the type of play where they're going to need to make a statement early.
No penalty is the word for it. 3 for 16 on the power play. Those are ugly.
Well, it's something Oswego has struggled with thus far, and they really have to work on it. They're not going to be a premier team until they really complete their power play.
Opportunity. This is Dufour, enters it for the Lakers. 4 on 4, something we talked about last night, John Russell and I in the broadcast. Give the advantage to the Lakers because they're so quick. And speaking of that speed,
He's got the break.
Got a pass, a quick shot to the left side of Fargo, and he just couldn't get it. Woodward now center pass done. Patrick couldn't get a stick on it. Ryan Woodward, good eyes in the back of his head, but Patrick couldn't get a stick on it.
They had Woodward in the slot, and he's been there available for them all season. He's basically camped out in front of the opponent's net, and sometimes it's capitalized for them.
4 seconds to go in the move penalty as he'll get back on the ice. And we'll see 5 on 4 for Elmira. This is man, got it jumped in late. Saved by Ryan Scott, so his first shot he sees and he drops to the side. 1:08 to go. Out front, centering pass, nobody home, and Ryan Scott looked like he was out of position. Dropped right back down into it for Elmira. You got a chance to go to freshman goaltender. Elmira looking to set up. They got man anchoring the point. The puck up for Andover to the goal. So 16:59 to go here in the first period.
Hatter here from the Laker pregame set. Just wanted to apologize for the technical difficulties of the phone ringing while the early part of the game was going. And by the way, whoever has that phone, please answer it in a timely fashion. Back to you, Pat.
Oswego's trying to capitalize on it. Shot deflected. Nice interception in the middle, able to dump it back into the opponent's zone. That'll give Oswego a chance to change the lines. Good strong play by Oswego's defense so far, which is something they needed. And that was it. Ryan Scott just passed his first test as a serious goaltender in this division.
Welcome to Division III hockey, Ryan Scott. Good save by him on the breakaway. He had number 20, Randy Campanoli, coming right into his wheelhouse. He stoned him once, and then on the rebound, he said,
So far, the Laker defense has done a good job of keeping, keeping Elmira's forwards out of the crease. They've done a great job at giving Ryan Scott a chance to see these shots as they come into him. That Oswego can't afford to make. They really need to crisp up their hockey team and not allow so many penalty minutes. Joined now by Joe Kelleher in the booth.
In any event, 15:45 to go here, first period. Kevin Tracy will sit in the sin bin. So the second power play opportunity for the Soaring Eagles. The first time it went awry. Hey, the chef made it out to the game today. All right.
Oh yeah, so he did. Good for him.
Chris Mann was ejected last night. He anchors that power play. Mann at the point. To Mann. To Casella. Shot saved by Ryan Scott. He drops to the knees, coming up the 5-hole. Good job.
And something you get with Scott that you don't get with a goalie like Leonhardt. Not that I'm knocking Leonhardt, he's a good goalie, but Scott gives you just that much more agility.
quick shot and another save, and the crowd likes it for the freshman, Ryan Scott. That was taken by number 25, Tyler Schremp, the older brother of an NHL draft pick who went in the first round. He is from Baldwinsville, New York. We'll get more on that story when Joe Kelleher joins the broadcast. So with 1:35 to go in the Kevin Tracy penalty, we're knotted at 0. Face-off coming left side of Ryan Scott. Ryan Scott, as we said, playing so good so far. He's seen 2 power plays and stopped 4 or 5 good shots.
You hate to jump to conclusions, but he looks sharp this evening, especially for a guy making his first start.
Centering pass out in front. Now there's a scrum. Oswego tries to clear. They cannot. Still Chris Mann anchoring that with 1:20 to go. Good defense by D'Annunzio as he knocks it out to the neutral zone. Chris Mann comes and recaps. This is Siebold. Siebold to Mazzanetti. Looking to center into Siebold out in front. Weak shot covered up by Ryan Scott.
Boy, it came in on his tape, and he just didn't get good stick on it. If he'd been able to deflect that up, he might have had a shot going over Ryan Scott's shoulder, but Scott got there in time, and the shot wasn't there.
So I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing for the freshman goaltender to see all these shots early on. It breaks them in and gets them used to the game speed, but you don't want to get a quick goal if you're the Lakers. You don't want Elmira to score quick.
No, obviously you don't want to give up that first goal, but this is a great opportunity to see how good Ryan Scott really is.
Face off right side of Ryan Scott. It's won by Craig McDonald. Quick shot up over the head of Scott. Back out.
Power play. Morris.
One timer to, I believe that was McDonald, who gets it right back. Quick shot on Scott and it's cleared away. So 49 seconds to go with Ryan. There's a clear finally for the Lakers.
That's just what they needed. They got to get some fresh defensive men out there because they're starting to look tired down in front of the crease.
Giving chase is Trevor Gilligan, and there's a turnover at center ice. But the Lakers could not hold the zone. They had to have a delayed offsides. So 14-18 to go, first period, 33 seconds to go in the Kevin Tracy penalty. We're still knotted at goose eggs.
And that just might be the type of game that it is. We've got two teams with very physical defense, and they're very good at playing D, at least most of the time. So maybe it'll be somewhat of a barn burner this evening.
Face off won by McDonald, Norm's little brother. I can't back that up, I don't know. Over to Rose. Rose to Mazzaretti. To Richard, back to McDonald. Here comes McDonald. He's got Dufour on him. Down right side of Ryan Scott. Looks to center, cannot. Koreski tries to clear. He gets it up to Perrier. Lakers got a 2-on-1 if they hurry. He gives it to him. Sean Katari. He's quick as a hiccup. Katari out in front. Shot. Goal. No, he jumps to the right. Greg Fargo.
Great save by Greg Fargo to get over and grab that puck. I really thought Katari had a great shot.
From our angle, it looked like a goal, but Katari couldn't get it past Fargo. And there's a haul down. No call. Paul Perrier hits the ice. Out in front, centering pass goes awry.
Perrier on the end of that pass.
Perrier got back on the ice and got knocked down at Kevin Tracy. And here comes Katari once again. Down the right side. Katari makes a nifty move and he gets hauled down. No call. Greg Fargo will cover up the puck. So end-to-end action that last couple minutes, Drew Schiavi.
Yes, sir. It's been a very fast-paced game with a lot of forwards moving. We've seen Sean Katari, what he can really do when he starts seriously skating. He's already got a couple of goals in a few games this season, so he's definitely stepped up his play this season for the Lakers. 2
opportunities for the 9th round NHL draft pick of the Colorado Avalanche a few years ago. The New Hartford native could not put the pill in the bottle.
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Hockey is one of those sports where the more opportunities you get, eventually you're going to bang a couple home.
Speaking of opportunities, turnover in the zone, the Lakers.
This is what the Lakers do very well. They play very good at even hockey.
Here's a turnover. This is Richard, but good defense by Chris Mann to get the puck right back. And there's another turnover. The freshman, Denuzio, out in front. Shot. Saved by Fargo once again. Something he did all night last night. Stand on his head. And he's playing another good job here early tonight. And there's another turnover in the zone. This is Richard as Gent get knocked down. Denuzio couldn't hold the puck.
Elmira acts like they're trying to check a penalty or something like that. They're falling back in their zone, and they're not making clean passes. They're just trying to get it past the blue.
Looks like they're playing on the defensive, and as Justin Perron's hauled down, we're going to have a call. Centering pass out in front, up over the net. Justin Perron was hauled down, and Elmira will go to the penalty box, something they saw a lot of last night. 62 minutes worth of penalties last night. Chris Mann was ejected. He had 34 minutes of penalties himself. And it's going to continue here tonight as number 22 for the Elmira Soaring Eagles, Mark Mazzaretti, gets sent off the ice. So he'll sit in the no-no box for 2 minutes with 12:38 to go here in the first period.
I'm sure that it's something you and JR have discussed over the course of these games because we all know the refs are cracking down on the D3 rules this season. It's one of those things where tonight there's been some rough play, and I'd really like to see the refs let these guys go. These are two physical teams with a lot of big players who like to bang bodies, and this could be a very exciting game if they let them play physically.
2 minutes for holding, the official call. Something you talked about, you just mentioned, something Coach Gosick said yesterday after the game. Let them play. It's a hockey game. Face-off won by Elmira.
Hockey is definitely a game of speed and skill, but there is a certain amount of physicality involved, and it's a necessary part of the game.
Lakers trying to set up on that power play that killed them last night. 3 for 16, as we mentioned. This is Duboard. They got one defenseman out there in the form of Tony Dufour. Usually they go with 5. Dufour to Patrick. Patrick out in front. Good defense. Siebel laid down, gave up his body to Duboard. As 1:34 to go, Lakers look to set up. Duboard over-anticipates the puck. He's got Woodward behind. Looking to center to Dufour. And Duboard to Dufour, but Greg Fargo stuck his stick out in between and stopped that with 1:27 to go.
That was a dangerous pass, too. Elmira had no defensive men to stop that pass from going through. Fargo made a great heads-up play by diving on it, because if Dufour had got that on the tape, we would see a point on the board now.
So this is something new for the Lakers. On the power play, they're going to send out a normal line. They're going to send out 3 forwards and 2 defensemen. The 3 forwards, Qatari, Perrier, and Rozak.
Well, why not? When your power play is struggling, the best thing you can do is just try all kinds of combinations and see what clicks.
Good clear for Elmira. Last night on the power play, Ryan Koreski had a barrage of shots towards Greg Fargo, and Fargo stopped every one of them. And there's a hit at center ice. This is Perron up into the Elmira zone. He's got 2 guys on him. Campanelli takes him down. We're going to have another call, and we're going to have another penalty to Elmira, so we're going to have a 5-on-3, and it looks like it's going to be a hooking call.
Pat, it just might be me, and maybe this isn't the best time to mention it, but if you look down at Oswego's end of the ice, I believe it's starting to fog up again.
You're not the best color man in the business for nothing, Drew Schiavi. Number 6, that is Ashton McLean's going to the sin bin. So last night the Lakers literally for 8 minutes worth of game time played 5-on-3. So they are no stranger to this. For 1 minute they're going to play 5-on-3, and then after that, if they can't cash in, they'll have another minute of 5-on-4 action. So this is it for the Lakers as they send the 5 forwards out now with a 5-on-3. It's Dubord, Rozak, Patrick, Ryan Woodward, and Sean Qatari. So let's see if the 5 forwards can cash in. This is Patrick to Qatari, the draft pick, to Patrick. Patrick the Fulton named to Qatari. Very patient on the power play.
Forwards
Patrick
are staying at home and waiting for the pass to come to them.
To Woodward, or Rozak rather. They're trying to get it to Dubord in front. Patrick, Qatari, one-timer. Good defense, and here comes Chris Mann for Elmira. Instead of trying to take a 1-on-3, he just dumps it down into the zone, and they'll get a change.
With the 5-on-3 action as Patrick brings it up the Fulton native into the neutral zone. He's got Woodward on his left. Now they set it up. Patrick playing the point. Patrick to Rozak, the captain. Rozak to Patrick.
Woodward is alone in the slot if he can get it to him. Or he was. Now there's a defenseman over who noticed it.
Rodney House,
We have a whistle.
Field House, and we're going to definitely get you on every... And here we go.
This is the type of thing where Oswego...
Throw us on the air. NYO, throw us on the air.
And we're going to have a whistle.
I believe they played too much into the zone. And welcome to the Golden Romney Fieldhouse. If you're listening on WNYO, we are live this time. Sorry about the technical difficulties 2 nights in a row. I'm Pat Bailey alongside Drew Schiavi and Joe Kelleher. You haven't missed much, except for a lot of good hockey in the first 10 minutes. We have a 5-on-3 as it stands right now. And the Lakers, now that there's a whistle, I can explain it. For 3 more seconds, the Lakers will play 5-on-3 hockey. Elmira has 2 guys in the box, number 22, Mark Mazzaretti, and number 6, Ashton McLean. So for the next 3 seconds, we're going to play 5-on-3. After that, we're going to have 1 minute worth of 5-on-4 action. We'll get you caught up afterwards. This is Tracy, off the face-off in the neutral zone. Mazzaretti's back on the ice, so 5-on-4 for the next minute. The freshman D'Annunzio, he wraps it around the boards to Paul Perrier. Perrier to Richard, to the freshman D'Annunzio, trying to get it up top to Perrier. He does. To Richard with 2 goals already this season. He plays possum, 40 seconds to go, very, very methodical. Kevin Tracy out front. Quick shot, rebound by D'Annunzio. The freshman can't get it past. Fargo's on the ice, and he centers to Paul Perrier, can't get it to him. Fargo stuck his stick out there, and a good opportunity goes awry for the Lakers. Still 20 seconds to go. The defenseman Perron with the puck at the point. Quick shot. So Greg Fargo, once again, for 2 nights in a row, stopping a barrage of power play opportunity shots for the Lakers. And for the next 22 seconds, we'll stay 5-on-4. Getting you caught up if you just joined us on WNYO. Exactly 10 minutes to go. And I haven't stopped talking for 10 minutes, Drew. You can attest to that. It's been up and down action so far. 2 or 3 penalties already for Elmira, 2 to the Lakers. Something that we expected, especially from last night's game. Joe Kelleher actually joins us now, finally.
No, it's all right.
The Lakers now for the next 3 seconds look like they're not going to get anything on the power play, and they don't. As number 6, Ashton McLean rather, is back on the ice. So Elmira does a good job killing a 5-on-3 for 1 minute, and then the next minute 5-on-4. There's a turnover in the Lakers zone. Out front, the freshman Scott off his stick. And then the centering pass, if you're just joining us on WNYO, or there's a stoppage to play, the freshman is in tonight for the Lakers at goaltender. Ryan Scott, the only change from last night. Brett Leonhardt gets the night off, and really the coaches want to see what this kid Ryan Scott has.
Yeah, exactly. The first time we've seen him in action all year, Brett Leonhardt is pretty close so far. So it's time to give him a night off and
there with McDonald for Elmira. Center pass to Lynch, doesn't go. Perrier takes that off, right back to Lynch. And no problem for Scott. He knocks away the blocker. There's an Elmira player down. No call. And we are going to have a call. The official came out. Penalty going to the Lakers when they touch up. We're waiting for the official call. Andy Rozak goes and talks to him. The crowd is booing. They don't like it. And it looks like Rozak might be the one going off.
Surprised about you guys in the road. Pretty good.
8:55 to go in the first period. 2 minutes for Kevin Tracy. So he'll go back to the sin bin for the second time in just 3 minutes. So we'll have another power play opportunity for Elmira. Ryan Scott will see his third power play opportunity here tonight. Chris Mann working the initials. He's the best defenseman that the Soaring Eagles have. He was rejected last night. Then threw a hissy fit to his stick up against the plant. He was kindly escorted off the ice. Face off won by the Eagles. They get it to center ice. They look to set up, but just drop down in the zone. Play it off the boards to Mann. 1:48 to go with the Kevin Tracy penalty. Oswego clears, but here comes Ryan Woodward. He comes down. He's got help with Patrick. Woodward looking to get something short-handed going, but it's good defense by Elmira to take the puck back to Cancels. Cancels. Up ice. Took it up Manzaretti, who's hauled down by a stick, and another Laker is going to the penalty box. So for the second time tonight, we'll see 5-on-3 action. This time it's going to benefit the Soaring Eagles. Can't we all just get along? Ryan Woodward headed to the box of emotion. So for the next minute 25, we're going to see 5-on-3 action with 8:20 to go here in the first period. Thank you so much for joining us on the Lakers Sports Network, WNYO, WTOP. Face-off coming right side of Ryan Scott. It's taken by Craig McDonald. He goes up against Don Patrick. It's won by McDonald. Drop back to Mann at the point. Good defense by Patrick. Still looking to set up the 3 defensemen, 2 defensemen and 1 forward. It's center pass shot. Hits the side of the net. Ryan Scott didn't see it. Right back out to the point. Koreski gets chased trying to clear. Cannot. And as 2 Elmira college players just dump over each other. And it gave Koreski an opportunity to clear, but he couldn't. Center pass out in front. Shot saved by Ryan Scott. The freshman playing like a senior here tonight. 7:54 to go in the first period. 59 seconds of 5-on-3 action. As the Lakers get a change, they'll send 2 defensemen and a forward out. The 2 defensemen, Justin Perron and Brian Chet. The forward, Paul Perrier. And we have no score from the Golden Romney Fieldhouse. Face off, the 2 17s take it. Perron and McDonald. Perrier, rather, McDonald. It's won by Perrier, who drops it up in the zone. 52 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. Puck at the neutral zone. Sloppy play by Elmira as Paul Perrier is... Nobody there for the rebound, but it's a nice kick for Elmira as they head up the ice. They got a 2-on-1. This is Conkle. He's looking for Siebold, the 2 best forwards they have, and he just stops and sets it back up. 25 seconds to go. In the 5-on-3, Chris Mann. Center pass out front. Shot saved by Ryan Scott. Great save by the freshman. And it's dumped up the ice, and the Romney crowd's going to give the freshman a hand. Lakers looking for a change. They get caught on it. Here comes Elmira. Out in front, redeflected shot, saved by Scott again.
All right, folks, sorry about that. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. I'm Adam DeSantis. I'll just be sitting in trying to keep you up to date with the action until we get things worked out with the wires and so forth. Right now, we have 6:35 left to go in the first period. There is a penalty. The Elmira Eagles will be on the power play. So far, the story of the first period has got to be the goaltending. Each team has had pretty good chances to put a goal in, but the freshman, a new starter for Oswego, goalie Ryan Scott, has done an outstanding job. Stopped a lot of point-blank shots, and he's doing well covering up the rebounds. We're getting ready to drop the puck here in a second. The referee's discussing just a few things before we get ourselves underway, making sure the right number of people are on the ice, everybody knows where they're supposed to be, and we're about ready to get underway once the stripes drop the puck. It's again 0-0, first period, 6:35 left to go. If you're tuning in and wondering where the usual 6'7" goalie Brett Leonhardt is, he has been sat for this game. Not sure why the coaches has gone with that. They're, I guess, maybe just looking to see what the freshmen have, maybe get them a little bit of game experience. And we're about ready to get underway. Puck drops the puck. Oswego wins it. Takes it back into their zone, skating around, throwing it behind the net. It's defenseman. I'm sorry, I can't really see the numbers too well. I'm sitting over here on the side of the arena. I think that's Tony Dufour who has the puck now. We'll skate it up ice. 24. Oswego just trying to kill off this penalty and hope to skate into the period. Either even, or maybe they can grab a goal here at the end of the first. Oswego skates in up to the right side. Looks. Sees nothing, passes it back out to the point, dumps it back down, setting up the power play, trying to be patient, looking for the best shot possible. Jocelyn Dubord swings it around the side, skates out past the zone, and Oswego will have to clear and get back on sides before they restart anything back on offense. Goalie for Elmira will cover up, and we'll have another stoppage of play as there will be a face-off in the Elmira end. 5:41 left to play here in the first period. Zeros on the scoreboard for both sides. A little bit different from last night's game. Elmira struck first and had a lead. Oswego came back. They had a 2-goal advantage, up 3-1 in the third period. Squandered that, and after going into overtime, had to settle for a 3-3 tie. So, looking for a little bit of revenge here. Trying to come away with at least 1 point of this home-and-home series. Oswego keeps it in their zone, trying to set up. That's forward. Not sure what his number is. Oswego now puts it back into the zone here. Elmira just content to try clearing it out. It's number 4, Justin Perron. Dumps it over to... There's a shot on point. The puck is deflected as it goes in on net, and Elmira will clear out, trying to get back to even man. Oswego takes their time back behind their net, and here they are, starting up ice, trying to get a goal here. No longer have a deadlock and score. Oswego skating in with it now. Swings it back up top. Will throw it back up to the top of the point. Deflected once again. They're able to keep it in. Everyone's still on side. Rush in behind the net. Elmira swings it around the boards. Still kept in by Oswego. Dumped back in behind. Oswego regains possession. It's a scrum down in the corner. Who comes up with it? Elmira is able to clear the zone, and once again Oswego will have to pull everyone back and get on sides. Oswego looking for a line change, just dumps it in, hoping to get a few pair of fresh legs on the ice here. The Let's Go Laker chant erupts now from the crowd, trying to invigorate their team, trying to get them motivated and get one back on the board. Slap shot dumped in, just wide. No harm done. Elmira turns it over again. D'Annunzio throws it back in for the Lakers as they'll dump and chase, try holding it in and possibly get one here at the end of the first period. 3:42 left to go. Zeros still on the board for both squads. Once again, the story of the first half has been the goaltending. Each goaltender seeing a few good chances and able to turn away all of them. What a perfect tape-to-tape pass. They're in now. They had a little bit of a break there. Chose to dump it off instead. Nothing doing out front as Elmira will try clearing it once again. No luck though on the clears. Oswego holds it in the zone. Elmira stingy though, and wanting to get that out for the line change, finally does. Elmira down the right side, throws it in. Goalie Ryan Scott goes out to clear it. Throws it along the boards. Elmira keeps it now, but the shot is deflected. 16 for Oswego, heads up the ice. Cross-tape pass, shot. There's a save, and there's a goal! First goal of the game. Number 16, C.J. Thompson, took it in on the right side, threw it across the slot. I'm not sure who was able to come up with the goal. A wonderful pass, 2-on-1, played it to perfection. Held it long enough for the goalie to find himself out of position, slid it all the way across, and it was tipped home for the goal. Oswego takes a 1-0 lead here with 2:50 left to go in the first period. And what a big goal that is, especially when you're starting a freshman goaltender like that. You hate to be behind. Tie's not so great. That means the pressure mounts on him. But when you're able to get a lead like that, he can sort of relax, kind of settle in, and feel even more comfortable between the pipes. Big goal for Oswego. Elmira now content to try to just hold things in, stay patient, and see if they can tie things up. They ended up with 3 goals last night, so they know they can score on this team. Once again, a save made by freshman goalie Ryan Scott. Covers up. He'll settle for the face-off in their own end. 2:36 left to go here in the first period. Oswego just scored, if you're tuning in. Deadlock through the first, I'd say about 95% of the first period. Oswego finally threw one in front. Puck was tipped in past goaltender for Elmira. And the Oswego Lakers find themselves on top 1-0. Defenseman Justin Perron clears it out. Held in now by Brian Gent. Oswego just clears it up now. Oswego looking for a penalty, and I think they got it. Elmira is going to be called for clutching. That's a very good penalty there for Oswego. After getting a lead, maybe they can even get another one here. The momentum swing could be big if they are able to get one here on the power play. If at worst, they can also look at holding the puck for the last 2 minutes of the period. And I'm sorry, folks, if I'm getting a bit broken up. We just saw a gang of, looks to be trick-or-treaters celebrating Halloween here travel past. And I've just seen the angel of my dreams. I can die a happy man now. Ref drops the puck and we're back underway. Elmira's able to clear it. Starting to tick off the power play here. Oswego will set up some type of play if they've got one. They should be happy, though, with a 1-goal lead. Anything can happen, though, on the power play. But at worst, they'd like to go into the second period with a 1-0 lead. Elmira once again able to clear it, and everyone will have to pull back, get on sides, and start things back over again. 1:48 left to go here in the first period. Oswego leads 1-0. Puck jumps out front. Elmira's able to regain it again. Nothing doing for Oswego as for the third time they've gungered the zone, trying to get something on the power play. Nothing doing. Slap shot there from the point by the Elmira. Short-handed there, almost got one as the puck tripled by Ryan Scott. Nothing happens though, no harm done. Oswego back on the attack the other way. Andy Rozak slips, gives up the puck, and Elmira will have the chance just to clear it. Waste more time here with this first period. Puck once again cleared out of the zone. 1 minute and 5 seconds left to go here in the first period. Oswego not really looking like they're trying to put another one up there. Just not trying to make any big mistakes here that would lead to an equalizer here at the end of the first period. Oswego now rotate to the right side. Throw it back out to the point. There's the rush shot. Just wide of the post. Rebound. Oswego's able to control and hold it in the zone. 40 seconds left to go in the first period. Buck back out to the top of the point. Looks over to the left side. Here's a wrist shot. No dice. Deflected out in front by the defender. Able to held in by the Oswego, so that everyone's still onside. 25 seconds left to go in the first period. Shot, nothing. Rebounded back out front. Elmira regains control. Able to clear the zone. Holds it in. 15 seconds left to go. Oswego has a chance, though. Steals the puck back. And on a 2-on-2. Puck took for the floss. It was deflected, though, in front. Nothing was able to be done with that one right there. Elmira will dump it out. 2-1. There's the buzzer, ending the end of the first period. Big goal there scored. 2 minutes left to go. And right now we are going to be tossed to TJ, who's going to be here for the intermission report. Take it over, TJ.
Get some money.
Adam DeSantis, TJ Hatter, Jay Harris here, and surviving excessive technical difficulties here on Laker in-game. Let me explain to you what was happening. The purpose of the WTOP NYO staffs tonight were to simulcast. Therefore, there should have been 3 announcers. Pat Bailey, WTOP sports director, all-around good guy, and normal WTOP color commentator, along with Drew and Joe Kelleher from WNYO. That really didn't work out so well. The WNYO side, thus the phone you were hearing, wasn't really coming through correctly, and eventually we lost all audio. Thankfully, we had Adam DeSantis, who's just as gifted a play-by-play guy as he is an interviewer. That's why you were hearing him towards the latter end of the first half. Now, let's talk a little bit about Jay Harris, that first half, which was a good one for the Lakers. What a difference a day makes. 1-0 after the first period.
Oh, yes, obviously. I mean, getting on that goal, getting shots and getting on that foul, definitely standing solid against tonight. But getting those shots, and he's not able to get that rebound on that last goal. They kept pounding away. Made the initial save, made a great save, 2 saves. It looked like finally a gem passing, which is good. Give the other goalie, Ryan Scott, a little bit of leeway. His first game being played, make sure he gets that lead.
All right, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jay Harris. We're going to go back to Adam DeSantis as you take a look at the center ice shot from the beautiful Golden Romney Fieldhouse. We're going to throw now to Adam DeSantis. Multi-purpose, multitasking, all-around talent, and the MVP of this broadcast tonight. Adam, over to you.
Thanks a lot, TJ. I'm joined now by assistant coach for the Lakers, Tim Thomas. And Tim, talk a little bit about Ryan Scott, the freshman goaltender. You guys put him in there. What was the decision made for the start, and what are you seeing in his performance so far this first period?
Well, we came in, Ryan's a freshman. We came in thinking this season we don't have a number 1 goalie. They're all battling out to be number 1. Brett's played every game. We need to get Ryan in there, see what he can do right now. He's got his confidence up. He's not being soft. He's playing great right now, so we like that.
Now, in last night's game, the officiating was horrible, to put it bluntly. How do you see the officials are calling the game tonight? Do you think they're doing a good job, maybe calling too much? What are the power plays? Are they about even?
Well, with the new obstruction rules, they're trying to call a lot of penalties. Tonight they're ruining the flow of the game. They're not letting the boys play. Right now, it's just the special teams are going to win the game if it keeps going like this.
Now, what did you see that was successful for you guys in the first half? What did you like with the coach's standpoint? What did you like to see in your players, and what do you think you have to work on for the rest of the game?
Well, the boys are bearing down on special teams, and if we're going to win, we're going to bear down on special teams. Our power play's got to be there, and our man downs got to protect us.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot for joining us. Have a good game. All right, I'm going to send it now back to TJ, and have a good rest of the broadcast.
Very much, Mr. DeSantis. Adam DeSantis, who deserves a raise, those of you in charge of the pay scale tonight. Multitasking Adam DeSantis, interviews, play-by-play, who knows what he's going to do next. Adam DeSantis here on Laker pregame/in-game/the regular game. TJ Hatter, Jay Harris here for the rest of the in-game. First of all, again, great job by Adam DeSantis. Now, talking a little bit more about the game itself. Oswego, difference a day makes. Up 1-0. Yesterday they couldn't score until the third period. Now, offensively, they seem to be clicking a little bit better, and they've finally been able to beat the very tough and a lot more gifted than I think anybody, including us, despite the fact that we talked a lot about him in the pregame. Greg Fargo, the Elmira goalie, very, very tough guy to beat.
Yeah, so you have to give in there. They threw a lot of shots at him, but not the difficult shots, the ones that you go straight to the net. They're trying to find ways to go to the net. Some of the shots went wide, some got carried off, but they're finding ways to get to the net and go to the net hard. And you saw that on the last goal. He made the initial save, and it didn't look like that Oswego was going to get that goal. But he popped up, tossed out his leg, and reached the post and made the save, and he snuck it underneath. Glad they did give them credit.
We talked a little bit about, in the pregame, X factors, and then we talked about how the goaltenders were the X factors. They proved us right, because both goaltenders, although you couldn't predict what they were going to do, they both did well better than expected. And especially Ryan Scott, the freshman for Oswego State University, had a lot of shots, 12 officially, but they were a lot more shots than that he faced, and showed a lot of poise tonight.
No, and he positioned himself well. Not just stopping the shot, but holding on to the puck also. Ran hard the last few games, towards the end of the game, he was facing a lot of shots, gave up some rebounds, but he's held on. Made a nice glove save there early in the period, getting tested early, which I think he needs in a game like this.
In the first 5 minutes, Ryan Scott faced 6 shots officially. able to take care of all of that. He faced a number of different power plays throughout the first period, able to withstand it. 7:54, another stand. They were up, Oswego was down 5-3 with an Elmira power play, up by 2 guys, still able to withstand the run. Ryan Scott doing a terrific job in that first period and probably throughout the rest of the night.
Yes, I see that happening. He looks comfortable.
He's settled in.
Yes, he's definitely settled in, and he feels like he can do that, especially when Oswego goes out, gets a late goal, gives him that lead. That is so much more of a confidence, and he can definitely feel comfortable. Challenge shots. He doesn't have to be in his comfort zone now. He can go out, challenge shots, make the saves he wants to know, and control the puck.
All right, early in the first, you saw, oh, by the way, one of the things that didn't go wrong technically was the mist you saw on the ice. That was not a WTOP mix-up. The ice is real. The mist is real. It's kind of burning up out there. One of the things you saw, though, late in the half was that Oswego State was able to score a goal. 2:50 left. We're going to go to a break. You're wrapping me up. What are you talking to me about? All right, we're going to go to break. Hopefully we'll see Pat Bailey again. I don't really know, but enjoy the first period, second period, whatever the hell period it is. Nothing works here anyway.
About 55 seconds or so. 1-0 is where we stand. Jocelyn Newboard, not the empty nether, rather. That first period, and welcome WNYO as I hear the cue in our ear. We think that the audio problem is figured out, Joe Kelleher.
We think so. The keyword to think.
All holy hell broke loose that first period.
You could really say that. You didn't miss a whole lot for all you viewers at home. 1-0 Oswego at the end of one on a goal by Jocelyn Dubord, assisted by Scotty Irwin and the freshman C.J. Thompson. That's where we stand right now. It was a power play goal. Going to get underway with the second period in about a minute and a half or so. The team's about ready to come back onto the ice, and we think we finally got these technical difficulties all figured out. We're simulcasting here live on WTOP and WNYO today on the Lakers Sports Network. Pat Bailey, Joe Kelleher joining you. 1-0 Lakers over Elmira at the end of the first period here at the Golden Romney Fieldhouse.
A first period in which we saw a lot of what we expected, and the situation from last night, a lot of penalties. To be exact, as I try to add them up here quick, I don't know if you can read the sheet a lot better than me of exactly how many penalties there were, but that first period, much like last night, a lot of people sitting in the sim bin. Drew Chiavi's actually going to join us now because I can hear him, and he's a master.
Well, as you know, Pat, I usually direct these games and I wear many hats. So when technical difficulties come by, I have to call my attention to other places.
You know what I think it is? I think it's Michael Myers. It's Halloween. He's out there somewhere cutting phone lines or something.
Yeah, it must be. Hey, well, here's a weird situation. The scoreboard has gone off.
I think there's a problem with the ice. Joe Kelleher just mentioned the scoreboard gone off. The officials in both teams are not on the ice, and the officials are in the open door. And I think they're looking at the ice. I don't know if it's too wet or if there's a problem. And normally at Romney Fieldhouse, we stand right behind the benches, and to the left of us, we can't see that corner. And normally that corner, there gets some ice, gets some built up, rather. And I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to go to that corner right now and check the ice. And it might be a little wet right now if they use the squeegee.
Well, this is something, Pat, that I mentioned in the first period. It looked like because of the humidity, the ice was starting to fog up again towards the end of the first period. And it may be difficult for the players to see what's going on out there. So there may be something involved with that. Also, if you look carefully at the scoreboard, it might be hanging crooked. That might just be my perspective.
Talking about that first period, here are the shot totals. For the Elmira Soaring Eagles, 13 shots, 0 of them past the freshman Ryan Scott, who I went out on the limb and said he's playing like a seasoned veteran for 20 minutes of his college career.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, really good to see a productive first period from him in his first game with the Lakers this year. Kind of like the move by Coach Gozek, mixing things up a little bit, getting somebody besides Linhart in net today. And Ryan Scott, like you said, looking really good, stopping all 13 shots in the first period. Hopefully a sign of things to come when he's called upon to step into between the pipes for the Lakers.
On the other hand, the Oswego State Great Lakers, 11 shots. One of them gets past the netminder, Greg Fargo, who last night saw 42 shots. He saw as many shots in the third period as Brett Leonhardt saw all night last night, 22 to be exact. So the Lakers get 11 shots, one of them past Greg Fargo, Drew Chiavi. Talk about Greg Fargo in that first period. Was it the fact that he just saw too many shots?
Fargo has been playing lights out, with the exception of the fact that his defense failed him when he had 1 3-on-2 and they weren't there to cover the rebound. Beyond that, he's been a great goaltender, although I've noticed Oswego has not been attacking like they can. Their power play has not been as effective as they had hoped coming into this game. The penalty kill for Elmira is playing very, very, very well, and it's managed to keep Oswego from setting up a lot of screens. Woodward usually sits right in the middle. We've all seen him camp out right in front of the net, and he's scored a couple of goals already this season doing that. He's trying it tonight, but there's always a purple jersey there to stop him.
The loud cheering you hear is for the Lakers are officially back on the ice. You'll hear some boos in a minute as the Elmira Soaring Eagles will take the ice. And what turned out to be a decent crowd, at least from the student section perspective. Sections Q, R, and S filled up very well. There's some interesting characters out tonight because of it being Halloween. A lot of good Halloween costumes out there. So Greg Fargo in that first period saw 11 shots, but nothing like you'll see in the second period as he sits down by that brutal student section.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, the crowd really did start to fill in here. And got to give a lot of respect to the Oswego cheering section here. And a big night in Oswego, Halloween Eve, and a lot of fans came out here to support the team. Kind of, as we always do at the Romney Fieldhouse, the teams kind of filed in as the period got going along. The baseball team, of course, leading the cheers in the student section, making a lot of noise, and really good to see a pretty packed house here at the Romney Fieldhouse here for Elmira and Oswego.
Already, as I mentioned, they're going to start on Fargo. He didn't even get a chance to take the ice. Already they're chanting, both sections going back and forth across the ice. So it's good to see the students come out here tonight. But the story in the first period was the play of the freshman, Ryan Scott. So in the second period, we're just about ready for a drop of the puck. I had to get some water in between those first two periods. I was parched.
Oh, Pat, I would never accuse you of having not enough to say.
Wow. Thank you very much. Face-off one. Are you going to do play-by-play?
Why not?
All right, go ahead.
Lakers control the face-off. They dump it into the Elmira zone. Now control far side into the corner. Elmira will take it away. About 10 seconds into the second period here. Now here comes Richard for Elmira. He will dump it into the Lakers zone. In behind Scott's net. Back to get it is Koreski. He circles around his net, plays it into the near side corner. Taken away now by Jared Conkle. Conkle with a centering pass into the shot. Richard, save made. Now in behind the net. Here's another opportunity shot just wide of the net by McDonald. Dubor now along the boards and clears out into the neutral zone for the Lakers. Richard bats to get it, plays it up ahead for Jared Conkle for Elmira. Conkle rips one, save made by Scott. Dubor over trying to get it. Now a battle along the far side boards, kept in the zone by Elmira. Along the blue line, Ashton McClain keeps it in, and now the Lakers take it away. Ryan Koreski trying to play it up ahead. Turned over now, Ashton McClain. McClain is onside, gets a shot in. Scott makes the save, holds on, and that'll bring on the whistle. 19:06 left in this second period.
Something the Laker defense has done very effectively, Joe, is they're keeping the purple jerseys out in front of Ryan Scott. He's had so far a clear look at just about every shot that he's faced, and that's helped him play to the level that he's been performing this evening.
15 saves now for Scott, stopping his first two of this period. Face-off coming in the Lakers zone, won by the Lakers. Kevin Tracy back to get it, but he loses it in behind his own net. And there is Castles, but the Lakers grab it right back. Played up ahead for Trevor Gilligan. Gilligan a 2-on-2. Gilligan trying to skate onside, but J.S. Richard came in just ahead of him, and offsides is the call.
Yeah, Richard couldn't hold the zone as he was a little too quick looking for a centering pass. Can't fault him for some aggressive play on the Lakers, but Ryan Scott, don't want to jinx him and don't want to overtalk it, but that's definitely the story coming in here tonight, and he's living up to his billing.
Ryan Scott has had a tremendous game so far. As we said, we've seen him in practice many, many times, and he really looks like a goaltender who can make all the saves. He's coming off that injury, but he doesn't look hampered by it, and that's a positive sign for Oswego.
Richard and Castles take the face-off in the neutral zone. Won by Castles for Elmira. Plays it back to his own defender. Now back ahead for Castles, but he turns it over in the neutral zone. Ahead for Gilligan. Gilligan gets rocked, and now the puck played all the way down in the Oswego zone. And we're going to have a whistle. That'll be an icing call. And 18:39 left in this second period. Still 1-0 Oswego.
Elmira really needs to come out this period and play like they really need to play like the team that they played like last night in that first two periods of the game. They came out, they stayed out of the penalty box, and they were aggressive. Really not a lot of play in the Oswego zone. They did have 13 shots, but they really didn't get set up on the power play.
Face-off won by the Lakers, and now taken away by Elmira in behind their own net. Now played up ahead into the neutral zone. Brian Jett back on defense as they dump it in behind Adam Scott. And now played along the far side. The Lakers control it. Up ahead, J.S. Richard, 2-on-2 Pihar. He's trying to play it up ahead for Gilligan. He's onside. Here's Gilligan with a shot. Save made. Rebound is loose. No one can get their stick on it. Elmira comes away in transition. Here they come. They'll play it up ahead. It is Castles. He can't get a stick on it. And icing is a call as he's not able to touch it up. Another whistle now. 18:10 left in this second period.
And Gilligan had a great chance on that shot. He just couldn't quite get his tape on it. If he'd had that, he would have been able to put it over Fargo's shoulder and increase the Laker lead.
With the stops to play, I'd like to mention next week on the SUNYAC opener weekend for the Lakers, they'll head to the North Country. That dreaded trip, which I know like the back of my hand, I could probably drive with it with my eyes closed, but they'll go to Potsdam on Friday night, and then the much-hated Plattsburgh Cardinals on Saturday.
Big challenge early with that big road trip up into the North Country as the face-off is in the Lakers zone. Now a battle for the puck on the far side of the boards. Paul Perrier in there for the Lakers gets taken down. Tony Dufour also in there. Still a battle for the puck. Dufour just got slugged. No call by the referees. Still a battle for it. Perrier comes away. Perrier trying to get control and get a shot off. Instead, he gets it over into the corner for Andy Rozak. Rozak dances around trying to find a man, and he'll play it back for Dufour along the blue line. Dufour going to try and flip it in. Perrier couldn't get a stick on it. Dufour not able to keep it in the zone. He will dump it in. Delayed offsides call.
You know, this doesn't look right. There's nobody sitting in either penalty box.
And finally, the whistle blows. 17:32 left in the second period. Still 1-0 Lakers here. Simulcasting on WTOP and WNOI on the Great Lakers Sports Network. Live from the Romney Fieldhouse, it's your Great Lakers and the Elmira College Soaring Eagles.
And it's Halloween Eve here, gentlemen, and there's a lot of interesting costumes. You see the chef from South Park. I see Wayne Corbett over there. Funny, Wayne Corbett got about 3 feet shorter and about 3 feet wider.
And probably a lot less talented, but that could just be me.
Drew Shiabi doing his best color man Halloween costume out here tonight.
Face up one ball, Elmira goes up and ahead into the Lakers zone. Scott coming out of his net, almost lost it to a defender. Now played overhead, turned over now, and a shot in just wide. Scotty Irwin going to try and track down for the Lakers now on the far side. Plays it up for C.J. Thompson just ahead of him. Still in the neutral zone. Dufour in there. He'll play it up ahead. Here comes C.J. Thompson. Thompson all alone will just wisely knock it into the zone. Elmira now taking control. Now here's a turnover in front. Duco couldn't get a stick on it though. Duco persists to try to stay after. Gets a pass for Irwin. Irwin the shot, and it's just wide of the net. Goes up into the netting behind the goal, and that brings on the whistle with 16:57 left in this second period.
You know, you mentioned the names of Thompson and Duco. Those are 2 freshmen along. As I mentioned, they'll play 4 tonight. Thompson, Duco, Ryan Scott, who's in the goal, along with Tony DiNunzio. 4 freshmen on the ice. There would be 5, TJ Manisterski, but he's still out with a shoulder problem. So 4 freshmen for the Lakers, and Coach Gosick really likes to play of them so far, which is why they're continuing to be in the lineup.
DiNunzio, of course, off to a very hot start, has scored in every goal so far for the Lakers. As the face-off is one Bell Elmira. They bring it up into the neutral zone and dump it now into the Lakers zone. Scott coming out of his net. He'll play it along the boards now, trying to get over for Duco, now near side of the boards. Duco's going to turn over. Puck flipped over into the neutral zone now. Delia going to come back and get it for Elmira. He'll flip it into the Oswego zone. Now a chase for the puck as it goes over to the far side corner. McDonald in there for Elmira. Referee's hand goes up, going to have a delay penalty, it looks like. And finally, the whistle blows with 16:29 left. We'll see what the call is.
The Lakers looks like they're going to go off. Number 16, the rookie, C.J. Thompson. Not sure the official call, but it looks like he's headed over to the penalty box of emotion. So with 16:29 to go, as Joe mentioned, second period, the Elmira Soaring Eagles will have a power play opportunity as there's some jawing going on. After the whistle, I just looked down, Justin Perron, and he was jawing with Craig McDonald. I think he told him he doesn't like his restaurant.
Just to go back to the point that you made earlier concerning the freshmen on this team, they have a very large onus placed on their shoulders this semester and especially going into this year, because they have to replace players for Oswego with names like Lukacic and Karobs, guys who led this team to the state that they were.
Joe Karobs, an All-American who Drew Shiabi mentions. Joe Karobs, huge skates to fill, an All-American, and Mike Lukacic as well. He had 8 game-winning goals last season, which led the nation. And quick thing on Mike Lukacic, because there's a stoppage of play. Mike Lukacic, and there's going to be a whistle. And as I'm talking, Craig McDonald's going to go to the box. So we're going to see 4-on-4 action. While I was talking, I'm not sure the call, so I'll shut up and wait for the PA guy.
Interesting call nonetheless. Only 3 seconds going by into the Elmira power play opportunity. And then the whistle blows. So McDonald obviously did something right off the faceoff.
2 minutes for obstruction is the official call on McDonald, so I'll get back to Lukacic's story in a minute.
McDonald shooting himself in the foot. His team's power play opportunity lasting 3 seconds before he goes and takes a seat in the box. So now a 4-on-4 for 1:57. Dufour has it for the Lakers. He'll slap it up into the zone and right into the glove of Fargo, and he'll hold on to it wisely as the pressure was coming on.
Getting back to the Mike Lukacic story. He's out in the LA Kings organization of the NHL, of course, and apparently out there, all the West Coast teams, they play, it's a farm system type deal, and it's more like all the farm systems get together and it's a tournament, and as of the beginning of this season, Mike Lukacic, of course, no NHL season, was leading all the farm rookies in scoring, so good to hear about that.
Always kind of thought that Lukacic would be doing something after he finished up his career with the Lakers here. He was always a special talent in his 4 years here in Oswego.
Well, something we talked about last year, who could actually go on for the Lakers of all the seniors. And, Tyson Guina obviously had a tremendous junior year and a really good senior year. He's actually playing in Kansas City in the UHL. So good to see a couple Lakers getting some play after college. So you never know, really, when you get in a farm system. Another penalty coming.
Face faceoff was controlled by the Lakers, and just a plethora of penalties here. We had 9 in the first period. Now this is the third one in the second period. Haven't even eclipsed the 4-minute mark gone by in the second period.
Ryan Woodward looks like he's going to go to the box, so I don't think a game can go by this year for the Lakers before we see 5-on-3.
This has been an ugly, ugly game so far, gentlemen. There's been a lot of penalty minutes handed out. This is not the Laker hockey that we're used to seeing. They're usually a much more finesse team that uses power when they have to. Well, it seems they've been able to punch first tonight.
It's funny you mentioned that there's been an ugly game and a lot of penalty minutes, and we haven't even started conference play. Once they start playing Plattsburgh and Potsdam, the Geneseos, who knows what can happen?
Right now we're on pace for a penalty every 2 minutes. We've had 12 penalties in 24 minutes played so far, as Elmira with a 4-on-3 opportunity trying to attack into the Lakers zone. Castles controls it. Castles has a man back at Seabold, trying to get it for him. John Patrick in there to try and take it away, but Seabold will go back into the neutral zone and track it down. Now Seabold trying to bring it into the Lakers zone, still controlling it, will leave it back for his man.
Like the first period, the Lakers with a 4-on-3 will send out 2 defensemen. There's a quick centering pass.
Centering pass a one-timer with a wide-open net, but the Elmira player, Conkle, couldn't get a stick on it. Elmira still has a 4-on-3. Castles one-time opportunity, and Seabold couldn't get a stick on it.
The 2 defensemen are Dufour and Koreski, along with the 1 forward Perrier.
Now into the far side corner, Koreski in there trying to get it. Taken away by Conkle, though, just ripped right away. Here's a centering pass. No one could get their stick on it. The Lakers trying to clear it out, and they do so all the way down to the Elmira zone.
Here's something to note. I don't know if you saw it on your screen. Obviously, you didn't see it on the radio. Tony Dufour just put Justin Seabold so hard into the boards that his stick flew up over into the crowd. He had to come over and get some new lumber.
Castles back into the zone for Elmira. He'll dump it on the other side for Jared Conkle. Conkle trying to get in behind the net. Now played back to the blue line. Chris Mann has it. Team captain for Elmira. Poised over other side for Castles. Gets the shot in. Save made. Now in behind the net. Play back for Castles, patrolling the blue line.
6 seconds to go in the 4-on-3.
Quick shot in, and Scott makes another quick blocker save, and Perrier will knock it out of the zone.
Here comes C.J. Thompson for the Lakers. So we're going to go to 5-on-4 action for the next 23 seconds for Elmira.
And something we've seen all evening by Elmira, they have the numbers advantage when they're on the power play, but they don't really look like they're trying to get the penetration deep in Oswego's zone. They're not really pushing around the defensive men in front of Scott, and if they did that, they might be able to put some points on the board, but so far they're not attacking.
So 22 seconds to go in the Ryan Woodward penalty. So for Elmira, there's a face-off in the Elmira zone. If they really want to get something set up, they got to win the face-off and do it really quickly.
5-on-4 opportunity for 22 seconds. J.S. Richard going to take the face-off for the Lakers against Mark Mazzetti. 14:23 left in this second period. 1-0 Lakers is your score. If you're just joining us, simulcasting today on the Lakers Sports Network of WTOP and WNYO, live from the Romney Fieldhouse. And after a short delay, we will finally drop the face-off here. It is won by Richard. He will dump it into the corner, and now a battle for the puck. Just under 20 seconds left in this power play for Elmira. Richard now will leave it in behind his own net. And here comes Elmira trying to get something going with 10 seconds left on the power play. Played up ahead. It was Delia. He was trying to get it back from Mazzetti, but it is turned over, and the Lakers will return to even strength. A good job killing that one off as it played down in the Elmira zone. Fargo comes out of his net and plays it over to the near side boards. Elmira trying to get it out of their zone. Now a loose puck in front, but Elmira able to track it down. They'll send it all the way down past Scott, and the whistle comes. With 13:48 left, it is an icing call.
Something I've seen so far this season by the Lakers, they've done a great job from the neutral zone into the opponent's zone. They hold that zone really well, and they're forcing a lot of turnovers in the opponent's zone and giving themselves a good opportunity to shoot and get some turnovers and some goals in the opponent's zone. So they're doing really well this season.
Keep wanting to call Ryan Scott Adam Scott like a professional golfer, my mistake. As a quick shot sent in on Fargo, rebound was given up, but Elmira able to take it away. Still in the Elmira zone, they have it in behind their own net. And now here they come trying to bring it into the neutral zone. Forechecking being put on now and almost taken away by D'Annunzio. D'Annunzio going to ride his man into the boards. Now he's taken off the puck into the near side corner. And now played on to the other side, far end of the ice. Almost a near collision there. Avoided. Here's Duco picking up the loose puck. Gets a quick shot in. Referee's hand goes up. Looks like we're going to have a delayed penalty call in just a moment as soon as it's touched up.
I don't believe it.
Another penalty call still hasn't been touched up.
It's going to be that type of game.
Patrick finally able to get the shot off. He's deflected up into the air. And finally the whistle blows with 13 minutes even left in this second period.
So it looks like the Lakers will have an opportunity to go up 2 goals as The Soaring Eagle headed to the box is number 8, Chris Mann, I believe. No, he faked me out.
The 13th penalty of this game so far. 9 in the first period, the 4th one here in the second period. So these teams are playing very aggressive style here so far.
Elmira not sending anybody as the door is open. The welcome mat's there. The food is on the table, but nobody wants to go.
I think at this point they're bartering with the refs to see who they can actually send.
It is Chris Mann. Well, no, he faked me out again. For the love of God, could we please send somebody to the penalty box?
Well, this is kind of like in preschool. There's nobody who wants to take a timeout, Pat.
They got number 19, Ryan Arnone, up on the scoreboard.
And Ryan Arnone is not even on the ice, so it looks like they're going to send number 18, which is the closest thing to 19. And they do send number 18. That's going to be Darcy Petty.
Way to take one for the team.
Petty larceny.
Nothing but absolute confusion here from the Rodney Fieldhouse tonight. 1-0 Lakers is your score.
It's got to be Halloween.
Exactly. Lakers control the face-off. The 5-on-4 opportunity. Rozak trying to play it up in front of the ice where his man could not find him, though. Now into the near side. Koreski now along the blue line. A one-timer over for Perron, but he shoots it just wide. Rozak will track it down now to the far side corner. Trying to find his man. Gets it from Perrier. Perrier sent it over for Sean Cotieri on the other side of the ice. Cotieri now near side. And another whistle, surprisingly.
I was just going to note that it's a normal line for the Lakers. They send 3 forwards and 2 defensemen. Normally this season, you've seen 5 forwards out there. And I think that's what cost Oswego last night when they were up 2 goals with 4 minutes to go. All of a sudden, you blink your eyes and you leave the arena, and bam, we got a 3-3 game. So this time they're going to send 2 defensemen with the 3 forwards, as I mentioned. The forwards are Rozak, Perrier, and Katari. The 2 defensemen, Dufour and Koreski.
Face-off sent into the Oswego zone. Koreski back to get it in behind his own net. Forechecking being put on by Rose for Elmira, played up ahead for Sean Cotieri. Cotieri with some good stick handling, one of the things he's noted for as he goes over to the far side corner and leaves it for Rozak.
Dufour's sitting all alone. He wants the puck.
Well, it was Koreski sitting in that same spot on the last time down the ice, and he was calling for it too, but nobody saw him. I'm not sure what they think they see, but they might have an open shooting lane down there.
Sean Cotieri has it.
1:05 to go in the power play.
Dufour, center point, trying to get the shot off. It was deflected in front, and Elmira trying to clear it out of the zone. Still kept into the zone, though, by the Lakers. Into the near side corner. Dufour patrolling the blue line, keeps it in the zone. Now gets to center point, other side. Koreski getting the shot off. Save made by Fargo, now into the far side corner.
45 to go in the Petty penalty.
Here's moving in front. Rozak, he shoots, he scores! Andy Rozak with a quick wrist shot moving in. And he gets the power play goal to make it 2-0 Lakers.
The Soaring Eagles are complaining. They're going to say no, that it hit the pipe and bounced out, which it did. But the official was right there to quickly call and say that it is a goal. So give the Lakers the goal. 2-0 the captain, Andy Rozak.
We could definitely hear it ping right off the metal up here in the booth, but it doesn't much matter because Rozak put that right over
Greg Fargo.
Yeah.
And it did click
on that brain fart for a second. Put it right over Greg Fargo's shoulder, puts the lotion in the basket, and Oswego's up 2-0.
Well, Chris Mann is still talking to the official about it. It clearly hit the post. You can hear it. I mean, you can hear it on campus. That's how loud it was.
That's the greatest sound in hockey.
But they're going to say that not only did it hit the post, but it touched the net. And Chris Mann doesn't like it. And unlike last night, he's going to stay on the ice and not get tossed. In any event, it's a goal for Andy Rozak, as Joe Kelleher mentioned, 2-0 Lakers.
And it doesn't matter. They've dropped the puck, so it's official now.
And the faceoff quickly dumped into the Elmira zone, and surprise, surprise, there's another whistle with 11:33 left in the second period. 2-0 Lakers is your score.
Speaking of which, I want to mention for the first time here tonight, RIT last night. I don't know if anybody saw this. Went to St. Norbert. Beat the #1 team in the country last night. So RIT with a huge upset, ranked number 7th in the country. And that's what we had saw on USCHO.com. And I believe it's unofficial that RIT upset the #1 team in the country. If you don't believe me, go to USCHO.com and check it.
RIT, a team that we see a lot of, usually getting a home and home with them. And the faceoff is won now. And Rivers comes back and dumps it off into the far side boards. Into the Elmira zone. No one can get their stick on it as it's going into the far side corner and played in along the boards. Now to the near side corner, Donnie Patrick trying to take it away, but up ahead for Jared Conkle. 2-on-2 for Elmira. Here's Conkle with his speed being bumped off the puck. Scott coming out.
That's a terrible call.
Another delayed penalty call.
That's a terrible call. Conkle split 2 defenders, and once he split the 2 defenders, lost the puck, and then after he lost the puck and there was no control, Tyler Rivers got his feet tangled with him. Conkle went to the ice, and Rivers is going to go to the box.
You know, and you can see the mist out on the ice again, and we saw the refs out there with the mop breaking it out before the start of the second period. Makes you wonder how soft that ice surface is, and if that contributed to the feet getting all tangled together.
10:58 to go in the second period. 2-0 Lakers. Tyler Rivers in the no-no box. So an opportunity for the Soaring Eagles. They really need to cash in here and change the momentum.
Oswego's going to be one of the most penalized teams in Division III right now with the way they're going so far. On the quick shot, and they scored! Andrew Castle just threw it in front. It looked like it got deflected. Nonetheless, it's stuck by Scott in a power play goal. I think it will be credited to Castle. Might have been touched up in front. Nonetheless, it is a 2-1 game.
So the Elmira Soaring Eagles make me look like a genius. Just 7 seconds into this power play, I said they needed to score to change the momentum, and bam, they did. And Ryan Scott was beat for his first goal as a college hockey goaltender.
That goal was a mess, and it wasn't totally Scott's fault. There was no white jersey there in front of him to prevent that screen from coming through. Ends up with the biscuit through the 5-hole, and Elmira's on the board.
Number 22, I believe, Mark Mazzaretti was the call.
Mark Mazzetti getting the goal, obviously patrolling out in front and deflected the shot sent in by Castle, so he gets credit for the goal. It's a 2-1 game on the power play goal for Mazzetti. Now into the Lakers zone. Scott comes out, plays it in the near side corner for Justin Perron. Taken away, though. Quick shot sent in. Scott takes a save, and he will wisely cover up. Did not have the puck, though.
The crowd doesn't like it because Scott had it covered up, and then the whistle, and they're going to go to the box for it. What a surprise. Ryan Scott covered up the puck. There was a whistle. Then after the whistle, number 20 for the Soaring Eagles, Randy Campanoli, came over and hit Scott with a stick, and that's no-no, so he's going to the box. So here come the Lakers with a chance to take that momentum back with 10:32 to go in the second period.
And keep an eye on Elmira's penalty killers. They've done a great job so far this evening of collapsing on the center and not allowing Oswego to put in any kind of centering pass in front of Fargo.
Richard and Rose dropped the faceoff. Won by Richard. He plays it back for Tracy into his own zone. Tracy now in behind his own net. We'll play it along the far side for Chance Richard, who plays it up ahead for D'Annunzio. D'Annunzio has not scored today, but has scored in every goal so far in his Laker career.
You know, that ice is really getting foggy. There's another penalty coming as the official raises his hand.
Looks like it's going to be on Tony D'Annunzio, as good just mentioned his name.
It's going to be a hold on the freshman. I believe you're right, number 13, D'Annunzio. No, Kevin Tracy. So Kevin Tracy has pretty much set up camp in that penalty box tonight.
Well, this will be on the freshman part, Pat.
This will be the third time tonight that Kevin Tracy will sit in that penalty box. Man, I think he might be watching a movie in there or something. So for a minute 40, we're going to have 4-on-4 action, and then after that, the Soaring Eagles will have a good 20 seconds of power play with 10-12 to go in the second period. 2-1 the Lakers on top of the Soaring Eagles. Andy Rozak, the second goal for the Lakers. Jocelyn Duboard, the first one, and then the Soaring Eagles get a power play goal past the freshman, Ryan Scott.
Here's D'Annunzio. Now he's going to play it back for 2-4 along the blue line. Gets it over to the near side for Koreski. Koreski flips it in front. Might have hit the post as it comes bouncing out in front, but Elmira comes away with it. Now in transition, here comes Elmira trying to get it in front. Loose puck, and now sitting behind the net. Richard will track it down.
That was Siebel trying to center it for Cassels, but he couldn't do it. It was good defense by Koreski.
Lakers now controlling it. Koreski dumps it in the Elmira zone, but knocked right back out. Now 2-4 along the blue line. He'll send it right back into the Elmira zone. D'Annunzio going into the far side corner, trying to track it down. Battling with Chris Mann for the puck. But Elmira comes away with it, now into the near side corner.
50 seconds to go, rather, in the Campolini penalty. And then we'll have, as I said, 20 seconds of 5-on-4 action for the Soaring Eagles.
Justin Perron plays it up for Jocelyn Duboard. Duboard crossing the red line now with Donnie Patrick. Tries to leave it for him. Their signals got crossed up as it goes into the near side corner. Justin Perron patrolling the blue line. Keeps it in, gets a quick shot. Rebound given up. Patrick trying to get a stick on it. He's taken down. Now played back for Perron on the near side boards. Perron has it taken away by an Elmira player, though. Now here comes Elmira, dumping it in neutral zone. Good stick handling right there by McDonald. McDonald, a 1-on-2, short-handed opportunity, trying to get it in there.
10 seconds to go in the Campanoli penalty.
And now Rozak. Rozak's going to play it over for Brian Jett. Jett and Perron, but instead Jett will just dump it into the Elmira zone, and Oswego will switch it up as the man returns onto the ice.
So 15 seconds of 5-on-4 action. Campanoli back on the ice. Here come the Soaring Eagles.
Here comes McDonald. McDonald now holding up. Looking for a man. Instead, he'll hold on to the puck. Now get a center ice. Trying to get the centering pass in as the whistle blows as Morris picked it up. And the referee blows his whistle with 8:17 left in the second period.
Boy, and something that Pat mentioned in the first period, and now we're seeing it again. The two teams tonight are using turnovers like they bought them wholesale. The biscuit is hot. It seems like it just came out of the oven. It cannot stay on anybody's tape. We've seen the puck change hands a lot of times in the neutral zone, and that could be a big point, maybe changing the momentum of the game later on.
You know, I'm going to go to bed tonight and I'm going to hear whistles. From the last 2 nights, I'm just going to lay in bed and hear whistles.
Back to full strike now as the shot is set just high of the net. Now a rebound opportunity off the skate of Scott. Now in behind the Lakers zone. Back to 5-on-5 play. We'll see how long this lasts.
8 minutes to go in the period. 2-1 Lakers.
Rozak chases down the loose puck on the near side. Played off the boards. Kept in by Roop. Now he can't handle it, and it skips into the neutral zone. Now here's Hawk. Hawk going to play it for his teammate right along the red line. And they'll dump it into the Lakers zone. 7:40 left in this second period.
You know, something nice to see, the Lakers finally get their new jerseys in, as somebody apparently heard us last night and got the tracking number for them for UPS.
Sent into Scott as the referee's arm goes up again.
I hear a slash. I believe it was a slash. The official turned around and let the Elmira coach know what was going on. I thought it was a penalty. Maybe I'm just hearing things. Too many whistles.
No, we heard the whistle too, unless we're just being haunted by it now.
We must be. But in any event, if you're listening on radio, the Lakers get their new uniforms. The home ones look like this. They are white with green letters and yellow trim. And on the front, it's
The navigational wheel.
It's some sort of wheel, as if you were on a ship.
It's a ship wheel for those listening at home.
A ship wheel, and on the front it says Laker hockey. So they don't look too bad.
First time we've had new unis since 3 years ago, so the Lakers in the habit of changing things up.
It's kind of like the Yankees winning world championships. It's got to happen every couple of years.
Yeah,
right, Boston Red Sox fan Joe Kelleher?
And I can tell you that
as a Red Sox fan, I'm just happy about this year. They could go another 86 years, doesn't matter to me. I saw one in my senior year in college.
I can tell you, these new jerseys, for those listening at home, they look better than some of the Halloween costumes we've seen parade through the Romney here this evening.
You ain't kidding. I've seen people walk around with goggles and snorkels on.
Have people just stopped trying now? Is that what's going on?
It must be. People just gave up.
Face off now, center point. Elmira making the shot. He'll send it in behind the net. 7 minutes left in the second period. 2-1 Lakers is your score. McLean going to shoot it just wide. D'Annunzio will track down the loose puck. Play it off the boards. Trying to get it ahead for Gilligan. Just ahead of him, and icing is the call.
Speaking of costumes, Joe Kelleher, what are you going as?
Johnny Damon, actually.
Oh, that's right. I believe you told me that. Johnny Damon. I'm going to bust out the Mario costume tonight from, of course, the big Super Nintendo and original 8-bit Nintendo Mario.
There we go.
True, Shiabi?
Don't really do the costume thing. Usually I forget that it's Halloween, and then on Halloween day I turn my hat whichever way it wasn't facing already because, hey, that's the only thing I got handy to do.
Tracy has the puck for the Lakers. Plays it up ahead for Ryan Woodward. Trying to play it ahead for Dewborn. Good defense by McLean, though. He'll dump it up in the for Castles. Lakers trying to clear it out of the zone. Dewborn going to play it on the side of the ice. Woodward trying to track it down. Woodward being taken off the puck by his defender, though. Now up into the neutral zone. Here comes Castles. We're calling his name a lot for Elmira. Looking for a man. Instead, we'll just send it to the other side of the ice, going through the crease. There's a shot in. Scott will make the save, but taken away by Siebel. Here's a shot wrapped around, and a diving effort by Scott made it went through the crease, and no one could get their stick on it. Now back on the other end. Here comes Patrick in transition. He has Dewborn. 2-on-2, trying to leave it for Dewborn. Good defense by Elmira. They'll clear it out of the zone into the neutral zone.
6 minutes to go here in the second period. Still 2-1 the Lakers on top of the Soaring Eagles.
Something we've seen a lot tonight from Elmira, and we just saw it with Castles coming down the ice. They're making great lead passes for the other players, but they're bringing it in. They're trying to bring it in quick and get a shot in on Scott, and usually that leaves them with one forward against 2 Laker defensemen, which is not a favorable matchup. If Elmira wants to put some more points on the board, they're going to have to slow it down and try and set up a play in front of the net.
Ryan Scott's stick is broken in half right now as he's waiting for a new stick to come on the ice as John Duco will deliver it to him.
Do you think that's the type of thing they make just the freshmen do, or is it whoever's convenient?
I'm not sure. I think it's just whoever's convenient. I know the freshmen obviously carry the bags and stuff. In any event, freshman to freshman.
Face off into the Lakers zone right in front of Ryan Scott. Lakers clear it to the neutral zone. Now ahead here, Scotty Orland showing his speed. Trying to get it for Duco center ice. Good defense, though, by Elmira into the near side corner. Played in behind the net. Scotty Irwin's still there for the Lakers, but Elmira comes away with it. Up into the neutral zone now. As C.J. Thompson knocks it right back into the Elmira zone.
It's getting awfully misty down in that end of the ice.
We have seen that all day as Irwin tracks down the loose puck for the Lakers, trying to play it up ahead and offsides.
freshman to freshman. Duco had Thompson, but they're going to call an offsides, and if that play stands, Duco makes a pretty backhanded pass, and Thompson's all alone with Fargo. But offsides are the Lakers with 5:27 to go in this second period. Still on top, 2-1 from the Golden Romney Fieldhouse. One of the last few games that will be played here as the new Student Center is set to open in about, well, we don't know when, but we just know they're working on it.
But we walk around it on the way to class every morning, and we know it'll be finished well after we've graduated.
Face off right around center ice, Rozak and Mazzetti. Mazzetti wins it, plays it back for his defender, and jumps into the Lakers zone. Scott in behind his net, will play it off the boards over for Paul Perrier along the far side. Perrier trying to skip it ahead for Rozak, who can't track it down. Now here's the turnover. Sent into the zone, but taken right back away from by Perron, and hey, what do you know? The referee's arm goes up, gonna have another penalty call.
Well, here's what happened. Paul Perrier and Brian Gent were horse riding number 27 for the Soaring Eagles. Nick Kiella. Or was that number 22? I believe it was number 22. It was Mazzetti. It was Mazzetti. They just hog-tied him down like it was a rodeo, and it was right in front of the official. Getting back to the Ryan Scott thing, they brought him a new stick, but it was the wrong one. So luckily he didn't have to see any shots. He's got the good lumber now, and it looks like Paul Perrier will be the one that gets in trouble for hog-tying him down. So with 5:09 to go, the Soaring Eagles, a great opportunity to tie it up here on the road in Oswego.
Paul Perrier, no stranger to the boxes. He spent somewhere around 16 minutes of that third period against Utica in the box after the fight.
What a fight that was, too. 5-on-5. Every guy on the ice was throwing down outside of the goalies. I was kind of hoping they would skate out to center ice, a la Patrick Waugh and Mike Vernon.
You're right, that was a great fight.
It's one of the better fights in hockey history. One about Vernon and Waugh, anyway.
WTOP, I know, grabbed it very well on the, which, by the way, is airing tonight on WTOP. Thank you for listening to this simulcast.
5-on-4 opportunity. Morris has a center point for Elmira. Played over for Conkle off of his skate. Conkle going to try and track it down on the boards.
Once again, we see Elmira not really attacking from the front of Scott.
Now here's a shot. Raise the arms at the red light number 1 on apparently no goal. McDonald has it now over Conkle. Conkle plays it onto the far side of the ice. Fake shot, now back Morris.
90 seconds to go in the power play.
Plays it over Conkle near side, gets a shot. Hugging the post is Scott, and he makes the save. Conkle again, near side boards. Winds up, take the shot, save made by Scott. Loose puck in front, the whistle blows. Scott able to cover up. A good job right there to cover up the loose puck by Scott.
Tremendous adjustment by Scott to be just that much of a half second faster than the Elmira player standing right there and fell on it and covered it. Refs blow the whistle.
4:24 to go, second period. The Lakers on top 2-1, but right now in trouble as they're on the penalty kill once again. 1:16 to go in that kill for Paul Perrier as he sits in the sin bin.
McDonald and Patrick will take the faceoff. Won by McDonald, played over for Richard. Now back for Morris. Morris going to try and move center point, plays it near side for Conkle. Back to McDonald, now over to Conkle again. Center point, Morris going to take the shot off the skate of Ryan Woodward. Woodward going to try and track it down with a shorthanded opportunity, bring it into the Elmira zone. Good job by Morris to prevent that, though. Into the near side now. Johnny Patrick trying to get a centering pass. Not there, though.
Can barely see as the fog is starting to lift. As Elmira will roll the lines with 45 seconds to go on the penalty with 3:53 to go in the period.
A lot of condensation coming off of the ice here at Romney. You can't see it on the radio. If you're watching on TOP, you probably know what we're talking about, but very eerie scene here, I guess, on Halloween Eve. As the puck is dumped in behind Scott. Perron going to track it down, and he will clear it all the way down to the other end of the ice. 26 seconds left on this power play opportunity for Elmira, coming up on 3.5 left in the period.
And Craig McDonald just came off the ice for Elmira, and he looks a little frustrated. Twice on that power play, he was sitting right by the pipe on Scott's left side, and nobody could get a rebound or any kind of pass to him.
One last rush for Elmira. Here's an opportunity. Mazzetti getting the quick shot save made by Scott, and he covers up.
6 seconds to go in that power play. Perrier really wants to get back on the ice, as do the Lakers want him back on the ice, because Ryan Scott has seen a good amount of shots on this power play, and they're not just any shots. They're from point blank as they're finding holes in this Laker defense.
Scott has looked very well in his first opportunity here in a Laker uniform. 6 more seconds left of the Perrier penalty until he will turn to ice and get it back to even strength.
We should commend Scott at this point. He's done a tremendous job of moving his body into position. He's taking a lot of shots right in the middle of his chest, which you know isn't where Elmira's trying to put him.
Perrier back onto the ice. We're skating 5-on-5, just under 3 minutes left in this period. Delayed offsides call. Lakers will return onside. Elmira has it now, and behind their own net. Getting hard to see on the far side of the ice. as it's getting very misty now.
There's a hard hit on the boards. You hear the student section cheering. 2:41 to go in the period. Clock continues to run.
Puck still now in the near side corner. Both teams trying to come away with it, and it is Elmira who does so. Loose puck now into the neutral zone off the skate of Rivers. Delayed offsides call. The Lakers are back on. Now played up ahead. Here's a breakaway opportunity for Elmira. Here's a shot coming out of net. Scott, it hits the post. Did not go in. Scott comes back and clears it out.
Scott made the kind of play that you see a defensive men make where they lay right down in front of the shot taker and try to block it. It flipped over his body, though, but it didn't manage to go inside the twine.
Here comes a penalty to Elmira. Here's what happened, and he knows it because he's headed up. Craig McDonald was upset that there was no goal. Elmira thought that puck got into the goal, much like the one that Fargo let in. It hit the post. Elmira thought that it got past that red line, but it didn't. So Craig McDonald turned around, took his stick, and slammed it to the ice right in front of the official. It broke in half, hit the official on the leg, and he just didn't even think about it. He just reacted, put his arm right up in the air. So we'll wait for the official call.
This is just a manifestation of something we've already seen that I've already mentioned about Craig McDonald.
A 10-minute misconduct to Craig McDonald. I'll say it again. He thought that the puck went in. Ryan Scott had a wide open net. The puck hit off the post, did not cross the line. McDonald, in fury, turned around, screamed at the official. As he did, slammed his stick on the ice. It broke in half and hit the official, and he didn't even think twice. He just raised his arm, and for 10-minute misconduct, the Elmira Soaring Eagles shoot themselves in the foot once again, and it happened last night with Chris Mann, who got a little hot-headed by a call, and he got ejected. 10-minute misconducts, and he was gone. And much like last night, tonight, the Soaring Eagles, another 10-minute misconduct. This time, it's big number 17, Craig McDonald.
Wow, what a break for the Lakers.
Talking about that play that Scott made, it's the type of play that you don't usually see a goalie make. He went prone on his body and came forward out of the crease to try and stop the stick of McDonald. It was the type of play that if it had gone wrong, Ed Gosick would be doing a lot of yelling at his young goaltender right now.
A lucky bounce for the Lakers that one did not go in as the puck is sent into the Elmira zone. They control it in behind their own net. 2 minutes left in the period.
I can understand McDonald's frustration because it's much like, as I mentioned, the Fargo, the one that hit off the pipe and they called a goal, and I believe they thought that it was a goal, and from our standpoint, it looked like it could have been, but the official right on top of it said no.
Koreski for the Lakers trying to get it into the zone.
But that's a huge loss. If it's anybody else but Craig McDonald, you may think, well, it's out of frustration, you let him go. But Craig McDonald, I believe he's one of the captains for us, or Elmira too. We got to check on that. But that's a huge loss, as he's a great big guy out there who matches up well with Perrier and the rest.
That one sent into the Elmira zone. Coming out of his net is Fargo. He'll leave it for team captain Chris Mann, who circles in behind his own net. Puck into the neutral zone. Here comes Elmira. 3-on-3 opportunity. As Siebold has it. Siebold will dump it in behind Scott. Justin Perron has it. 1:10 left in the second period. Played to the far side. And dumped into the neutral zone up ahead. Trevor Gilligan. 2-on-2 for the Lakers. Here's Gilligan. Gilligan has a quick shot. Save made Fargo. Rebound given up, and Fargo is going to cover it up with 59 seconds left to bring on the whistle.
Getting back to Craig McDonald, here's what you lose because of that. You lose a guy that's 6'1", 211 pounds. He's from Milton, Ontario. In his career, he's played 67 games, 25 goals, and 34 assists, good for 59 points. So the wrong guy going in the box for Elmira, and now they're going to have to play without one of their better players for a good 9 more minutes.
Him and Jared Conkle really the big scoring threats on this Elmira team, so definitely a big loss for Elmira as they control the puck, trying to play up ahead of the neutral zone. Home run pass for Rose not there, as Brian Gent plays it off the far side boards, trying to get it for Denunzio. Past him now. Richard there to back him up. Richard skating around, gets the puck, will play it in behind his own net. Behind the Elmira net, strike that. Denunzio in there. As Rose comes away for Elmira, he'll play it up ahead. Here's a 2-on-2 opportunity for Elmira. Siebold has it.
25 seconds to go in the period.
Drop pass is turned over to J.S. Richard.
Oh, Gilligan. They had a good opportunity for a 2-on-1, but Gilligan couldn't hold the puck in the neutral zone. 15 seconds to go.
Far side corner now. Lakers come away with it. 13 seconds left. Trying to get one more shot off. In behind the net. Trying to get a one-time opportunity in front for Rozak, but it was deflected by an Elmira defender. 5 seconds left. Richard cannot get there. And that'll kill this.
And we're going to have a penalty. No, we're going to have a penalty before the whistle, and the Lakers are livid. Andy Rozak quickly over to the official just as the clock's dripping down. As the whistle or the horn goes off, we're going to have a 2-minute penalty when we come back to the third period on
guess who? Number 21, Kevin Tracy. And Andy Rozak is quickly over to the official, pleading his case. Why?
Wow. With 2 seconds left, the referee's arm went up.
Did Tracy leave his wallet in the box or something like that? It's like he's looking for something in there.
I told you, he's watching a movie over there, and he's just catching bits and pieces every time he's in. Unofficially, that's his 4th penalty, as if you're listening on or watching on WTOP, our Adam DeSantis is trying to grab an interview. Hopefully he gets Kevin Tracy and asks him what's going on, but in any event, at the end of the second period, it's 2-1 Oswego. So in that second period, we saw a 10-minute misconduct to one of the best players on Elmira, and with 2 seconds to go, 2 seconds, the Lakers can't even play clean, and they're going to go to the box for the first 2 minutes of the 3rd period.
Interesting game here so far. We got everything from mist coming off of the ice, too much condensation in here. We got a plethora of penalties. Your score is 2-1. For all you listening on WNYO, we're going to send it back to the studio. The guys will get you caught up on what's going on in the national sports world. For those on WTOP, stay tuned. We're about to go to an interview. For those on WNYO, thanks for joining us. We'll be back for the 3rd period.
Okay, thank you WTOP listeners, or viewers rather, for staying with us as our Adam DeSantis grabbed the assistant coach of the Lakers, Joe Cardinelli, as he gets set up down there. Adam, please find out for us what's going on here.
Pat, Coach Cardinelli, you guys are leading 2-1 here after the second period. What did you like about that period, and what did you dislike?
Well, I'm a little frustrated with the officiating. Tracy's call there at the end is just, it's difficult. You don't know what he's going to call, and it's getting the guys distracted from what's important in the game. I think 5-on-5 we're fine. I think actually on the penalty kill we're doing a good job. But when you're not sure what he's going to call, it makes the guys indecisive, and that's when we get into trouble.
Speaking of that, your backstop tonight, you started freshman goalie. How do you think he's playing so far for you guys tonight?
I think he's just doing a great job. Ryan brings us something a little different coming out of the net and handling the puck. He has a lot of experience. His last junior team, he acted basically as another defenseman on their breakout. A little bit of nerves today, so he's coming out maybe a little bit more than we'd like him to, but he's got his groove and he's stopping the puck. That's all we really care about.
Now in last night's game, you guys had a 2-goal lead with not much time left. Unfortunately, that lead vanished and you ended up with a tie after overtime. What are you as coaches going to maybe tell your players? What would you like to see them do that's going to enable you guys to hold on to this lead and get a victory?
Well, the guys worked hard last night, and coaches, we take a lot of the blame for how we manage the game. Tonight, a lot more guys are getting a lot more ice time. Can't rely on 2 power play units when it's more than half the game. So I think we got a little better management. Playing on our home ice with these fans makes it a lot easier for us. Ice isn't too good, but I think the guys are working hard, and I expect good things in the 3rd period.
Yeah, it's a little foggy out there. Is that maybe affecting anything? Maybe the way the goalies are seeing the puck, or is just pretty much even for both sides?
Well, I asked Ryan, and he didn't have any problems with it. And I told our defenseman in the neutral zone on transition, shoot at the goalie's head.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot for joining us. Good luck in the 3rd period. All right, I'm going to send it over to TJ now for the rest of the second period intermission.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adam DeSantis, earning money by the minute here at Oswego State University Laker in-game. Well, the score has changed, and we have a terrible reverberation, but I'll continue speaking anyway. The score has changed, but the lead remains the same. Oswego State University up 2-1 by 1 goal, but I think the overwhelming story, Jay Harris, is the story of the freshman goaltender for the Oswego State Great Lakers. Playing really well.
Playing absolutely well. He also got his first goal scored against him. And the one thing that we were looking for to see how he reacted after giving up that first goal. And again, he made a huge save at the end of the period there to keep him in it. A little bit adventurous sometimes coming out of the net. He's a little bit of a wanderer. I don't think they like to see him do that so much to play the puck, but that's just another sign that he feels comfortable, and he's in this game. It's his game to win right now, giving up 1 goal.
Yeah, talking, of course, about Ryan Scott, the freshman goaltender, in tonight for the Oswego State Great Lakers, playing really well because Elmira, and this is atypical, is outshooting the Oswego State Great Lakers. Oswego outshot Elmira by 20 shots yesterday. Today, the other way around. Elmira dominating on the shots.
And that's what I predicted in the pregame. For them to turn it around, they didn't want to have an outcome like they did last night. They're turning it around tonight. They're getting shots on goal. They're testing that young goaltender. They have 1 goal, but he's standing on his head. It's going to be something to see what they can pull out in the 3rd period. That's the one thing Elmira needs to keep doing, is keep shooting, getting more shots, outshoot this Oswego team. Don't give them a chance to win this game. come back and keep shooting this young goaltender. Testing.
Elmira, at last count, 26 shots on goal. Oswego State University, 18 shots on goal. So that's the lead we were talking about, that Elmira has the shots on goal against Oswego. Now, oh, by the way, 2 goals were scored in the second period. Andy Rozak off the post and in with 11:43 left to go, put the Lakers up 2-0, and from then it kind of looked like they were cruising.
Yeah, way to find the net. Rozak going straight to the net, put it upstairs, right up underneath the post when it went in. And then from there, yeah, it looked like they were on their way. They were going to go up and stay tight and position themselves well. And they got another lead for their goaltender. But, and again, later in the period, Elmira came back.
Mark Mazzetti particularly scoring the goal, the first one that Ryan Scott's given up in his career. So a little bit of a, I don't think momentous is the right word, but a bit of an occasion. The first one in the stats book that Ryan Scott has let in as a goalie here at Oswego State University, his first goal, but he responded really well.
Oh yeah, and that's what I was looking for. Like I said, how would he respond to that first goal? Did it dissolve? Is that going to be a tough thing mentally on him? Or will he just shove it off, get back in the game, you still have a 1-goal lead, it's not a tie game, feel comfortable with that lead and keep playing hard, and he's stood the test.
Strategy-wise, I wanted to ask you about something, because at 13:11 left to go in the second period, Oswego pulled Ryan Scott because of the penalty. I think that kind of shows how much they're looking to last night's game when they couldn't quite put Elmira away, to put him away earlier here.
Oh, you're absolutely right. When you do that, you want to be careful. Make sure it's in the other Elmira's zone. Pull your goaltender, get an extra player on, control the puck, and it's a power play. It's literally a power play. If Elmira touches the puck, that blows the play dead, and Oswego would go on to the power play. The penalty would be called on Elmira. You pull the goaltender, that gives you an extra player, an extra chance to get a goal. And on top of that, that penalty would still stand.
So Oswego taking a little bit of a gamble there, but it didn't pay off or hurt them in either way, shape, or form. Just indicates how much they want these guys down and out.
Yes.
All right.
You can't go back to last night. You have to put them away, and that was a sure test.
Oswego up 2-1 right now. If you're the Oswego State Lakers coach, Coach G, Coach Gosick, what do you tell them?
Play your game. Don't get away from your game. Keep going, but also don't get so aggressive that you give up like you did last night. You want to play your game, you want to be aggressive, but you also have to protect your lead. You have a young goaltender in there. You don't want to give up some of the shots that they're doing. Tighten up.
Other end of the ice, if you're Elmira's coaching staff, what are you telling them to do?
Keep going. Attack this goaltender. He's young. This is his game to lose at this point. He needs to stand on his head. He's a young goaltender. Keep shooting and play the game that they've been playing so far. I think they've gone so far pretty well. Let's see what they can do in the third period.
During that last interview, Adam DeSantis asked a question that I think is worth exploring a little bit more. He talked about the miss. I don't know if you can see it on your television set, but you should be able to. If you look at the left side, your camera angle, the left side of the rink, and that particular one, it was Greg Fargo's side. He was playing goalie on the side of the rink we're talking about. There's a mist around that side of the rink. Now it'll be the Oswego State Ryan Scott's missed side of the rink. Does that help or hurt him in any way? Because Coach kind of blew it off, but I think there's something there.
Oh, I obviously do think there's something there. When you have that miss, it's tough to see. It's going to be really tough to see the puck. It's also tough to defend it, not just the goaltender. Find out where your players are. See through the feet down low. It's going to be really tough for Ryan Scott to control himself. And that also goes back to positioning. Make sure your position stays square to the shooter if you see the shooter coming in. And then make sure your defensemen know where they have to be. Make sure to clear the puck out of there as quick as they can. Don't worry about the fancy stuff, especially with this fog. Don't be chased. You got to get it out.
But this is just another one of the Halloween tricks here tonight at Oswego State University, the beautiful Golden Romney Fieldhouse. And these are the final few games that you will get to see here. They might play a little bit here next season, but this is the last full season that you get to play here in the Golden Romney Fieldhouse. A little bit of one last trick from the Golden Romney. That's it for us. Enjoy the third period of play. Pat and company will take you from here, and we'll see you in the postgame.
Be rich.
Yeah, you guys there? The Oswego State Great Lakers, as I'm going to pause right now to welcome back all the WNYO listeners, as we are live at the Golden Romney Fieldhouse on 88.9 WNYO, and of course on the live broadcast, which gives the capabilities of my mother listening back home to listen to me. 90 seconds to go till the drop of the puck of the third period. Before we get to the second period stats and what happened at the end of the second period, I want to let it be known that my Chukka puck was playing at the center of the ice, and somebody cheated. Somebody threw the puck after they said no more, and they cheated and knocked me away.
Okay, Pat, I saw the same thing you saw, and I'd like to take a minute to say hello to your mother because she's a sweet woman.
All right.
But beyond that, that puck that knocked you out was thrown before the call was over.
In any event,
it did knock you out, though. You were in the center.
In any event, back to hockey. 1 minute to go before the drop of the puck. Here's what happened in that second period. The Lakers came out. They got a goal by Andy Rozak.
goes at. Elmira goes on a power play and ties it up, or pulls to within one, rather. So just at the end of the third period, about 2 minutes to go, a questionable call. Ryan Scott comes out of the net. The puck hits the post. It's said to have crossed the red line, but no goal is called. Craig McDonald takes his stick, slams it to the ice, hits the official. He's in the box for 10 minutes for a misconduct. So just when you think everything's going the Lakers' way, 2 seconds to go, literally 2 seconds to go, Kevin Tracy gets called for a takedown. So we're going to start the third period with 5-on-4 action.
It'll be a golden opportunity for Elmira to try and tie this game up. Right now it's 2-1 Oswego. Elmira will start the first 2 minutes of this period off with a 5-on-4 advantage. A big opportunity for them to try and silence the crowd here and tie this game up. That would be big for their spirits. Elmira still winless on the year. They're 0-1-1. The Lakers still without a loss on the season with 3 victories, 0 losses in 1 tie.
In that second period, the Elmira Soaring Eagles, 12 shots. They got 12 shots on Ryan Scott. Only one of them passed him. So they have a total of 25 going into the third. Going into the third for Oswego, 19 as Ryan Scott saw 8 of them that period. And of course, the one got past him.
And the blaring stat so far in this game, 19 penalties combined for the two teams, with still 1 period to go.
It doesn't surprise us, but as you mentioned, blaring stats. Here we go. It's up the puck, third period from the Rounding Fieldhouse, won by the Fulton native. Don Patrick up to Tony Dufour, who tries to take Chris Mann's head off, and he just puts the puck right into the Elmira bench. And they're looking around as if it was intentional. I'm kind of wondering myself.
That shot was a laser, Pat. I think if they had moved at all and flinched, somebody's head would have taken clean off his shoulders.
I don't want to speculate, but that may have been intentional. But in any event, is going to have a face-off with 1:55 to go in the Tracy penalty. 19:54 on the board. It's won by Oswego, but quickly turned over to Elmira in their own zone. And I want to talk about Ryan Scott. There's not just the difference of age and grade between him and Brett Leonhardt. Ryan Scott's 5'10" as opposed to Brett Leonhardt, 6'7".
Listed at 6'7". I think he's closer to about 8'40".
8'40", which would make him 11'6". 90 seconds to go in the Tracy penalty. 19:30 to go in the third. Elmira playing from behind as they're on the power play right now, and it's Conkle. Good opportunity, but the puck goes off his stick into the Oswego zone. Here comes Oswego. This is the freshman D'Annunzio, who had a window of opportunity, but it quickly closes. Here comes Elmira right back up, and a huge hit.
Nice hit along the far boards.
Justin Perron is playing like a man possessed this season. Here's an opportunity for Elmira. This is a wraparound out in front of Scott. Good defense by the Lakers as it's flipped up into the zone. All he had to do was get it to D'Annunzio, but he rather flipped it into the zone. And Elmira quickly gets it with 1 minute to go in the power play. Turnover in the neutral zone. Here comes Ryan Koreski, the defenseman's got a good stick for a defenseman. Coming right side, looks at center. Oh, he whipped on the centering pass to Perrier. Had Perrier wide open, but here come the purple Elmira Soaring Eagles right back the other way as it's good defense in the neutral zone. Quickly tipped back down behind Greg Fargo as they try to set up. This is Siebold. 40 seconds to go in the Elmira power play. They really haven't had a good opportunity to set up thus far this power play. Chris McDonald will continue to sit in the box for a good 8 or 9 minutes or so. And Ryan Scott is really out of position. 27 seconds to go. Elmira finally sets up that power play. Centering pass no good to Perrier. It's a turnover. They got a 2-on-2 if they want it. Perrier up ice. They don't want it. He dumps down and looks to get a line change, and they do. Oswego gets the change. Here comes Elmira quickly back up. This is Castles. He gets it up to Siebold. Chris Mann calling for it. Mann looks to take a shot, does not. Still 6 seconds to go as they look for one more quick shot. It's Castles. Centering pass. Mann calling for it. They get it to Mann, and it's just off his stick, and we're back to even strength. Kevin Tracy is back on the ice.
Boy, and the key to this PK for Oswego is that they've been able to shift guys in and out. They keep getting fresh legs on the ice, which helps their penalty kill in the long run.
17:56 to go in the third period. 2-1. The Lakers clinging, and I mean clinging, to a 1-goal lead because last night they let up 2 goals in 4 minutes, both shorthanded.
You know, and it sounds strange to say this, Pat, but I think Oswego's best chance tonight is when they're playing 5-on-5 hockey. Their power play has not performed well.
Out front. Ryan Scott saves it, and then there was an Elmira player hit the net, and the net came loose, so we're going to have a whistle to fix the net. That was number 17. No, it wasn't 17. McDonald's in the box. Looks like it was number 27, Nick Kiella. And it was Kiella, so Kiella hits the side of the post, knocks the net free, so the stoppage of play with 17:49 to go in the third.
2-1 Oswego holding on to the lead, clinging on the lead, like you said, but a good job to start off the first 2 minutes of the period, killing off that big power play opportunity from Elmira.
Ryan Scott playing, as we said before, like a seasoned veteran. He played really well. This is his debut as a Laker netminder. He is a freshman. The Lakers carry 3 freshmen and 1 sophomore goalie, one of them Brett Leonhardt, who started 3 games, but tonight it was planned. It wasn't because of any play by Leonhardt last night or 2 weeks ago against Utica or Waterloo. It was planned to start Ryan Scott here, give the sophomore, or the freshman rather, a chance, and it's a good opportunity too to start him at home. Some thought they might start him last night in Elmira. You don't want to start him on the road. Start him at home in the friendly confines of your own building.
And I like it right before we start the SUNYAC play too. Get this start out of the way. And a team against Elmira, before the SUNYAC play opens up, get a little bit of comfortability underneath the belt of Ryan Scott.
And we mentioned SUNYAC's play starts next week with, hey man, if you're going to start the SUNYAC conference, why not start with the best, the number 4 team in the country, the Plattsburgh Cardinals on Saturday. And here's a turnover. This is Mazzetti. Oh, he looked to center and to Conkle, but he couldn't get it to him. Poor play by Elmira, as Oswego needs to clear the zone. As there's play in front, center pass, Ryan Scott, another save. The freshman is playing very well tonight as another centering pass does not get past Ryan Scott as he stones him with 17:09 to go. That was number 22, Mark Mazzetti, who had it out in front of Scott. Scott just said, no soup for you. Thank you, Jerry Seinfeld.
And Elmira's discipline seems to be somewhat suspect tonight. Every pass they've had that's a centering pass or the one just before the one on Scott's save, it's always been a little bit behind or a little bit ahead. And they're still making a lot of turnovers and not scrapping along the boards.
Back to live action. Puck in the Elmira zone. Good defense. Ryan Woodward is the best offensive defenseman we have. I'll explain in a minute as Elmira gives a chase. It's 3-on-2 if they hurry. Center pass out in front. Ryan Scott just shoves it away and he covers up. 16:49 to go in the third period. Back to Ryan Woodward. I've talked before, he's obviously a forward, but he's got to be the best defensive forward that the Lakers have. He scored a shorthanded goal that was pretty in the playoffs last season against Portland, a goal I'll never forget.
Yeah, you always see him putting on great forecheck and pressure, always back on the defensive end, always letting a helping hand. But then on the other end, one of our leading goal scorers last year in his first year with the team. You can expect good things from him this year as well.
Many people thought he was robbed of the SUNYAC Conference Rookie of the Year and went to Miles Pallister of Potsdam, who is quickly transferred to Wisconsin-Stevens Point. Here come the Lakers in the zone. They turn it over. This is Siebold up ice for Elmira. They just dump it down and play dump and pass rather, instead of getting the line change. And Oswego with the puck right now back up the ice. Here comes Woodward. The aforementioned Woodward dumps down in the zone. Lakers look for a line change. They get it. Tracy back on the ice. Let's see if he can stay on the ice without going to the sin bin. 16.5 to go in the third. Up ice pass and they missed and they had number 18. Darcy Petty had a one-on-one with Scott, but he couldn't get a puck on it. And a bad pass by the Lakers. Turn over in the own zone. Quick shot. Ryan Scott doesn't have to contest for it. Bad pass for the Lakers. Turning it over in their own zone. This is Tracy. Tracy turns it over again. Center pass out in front. Shot. Goal! The Lakers turn the puck over again in their own zone, and this time it cost them. A centering pass to number 18, Darcy Petty, and he beats the freshman netminder. And here we go again. It's 2-2. Elmira has tied it up. 4 minutes to go in the 4 minutes into the third period.
A big turnover by the Lakers right there. They couldn't make it much easier for Darcy Petty. The turnover in their own zone, the centering pass Petty had all day right in front of the net, able to beat Scott. Left side down low and tie this game up at 2.
It's deja vu all over again. Thank you, Yogi Berra, for that line, as last night the Lakers blow a lead, and tonight they blow another one. This one not as big, but still 2-1, and the turnovers in their own zone are continuing to kill the Lakers. It cost them last season a SUNYAC title, and so far this season, that's just one headache that the Lakers can't seem to get rid of, and something they really need to work on. And all of a sudden, if you look at the Elmira bench, they're up and they believe that they can win this game.
2-1 goals for Elmira to tie this one up.
Speaking of Elmira, here we go. 2-on-2 with Petty again out in front. Shot goes over the head of Ryan Scott to the Lakers, who try to dump down and clear. And there's a hit on the far side. Tony D'Annunzio, the freshman, right back up ice. Pass goes awry. Elmira's tired, so they're going to get a line change. Conkle line back on the ice. Conkle, one of the best scorers for the Lakers. He's quick as a hiccup as well. Here come the Lakers. That was Tyler Rivers, another turnover. Here come Elmira, 2-on-1 if they hurry. And good defense by Tyler Rivers to get it back up, so they hold the zone. Rivers, a takedown, no call. There's a scrum on the far side, and I take that back. There is a call, and we're going to have a whistle, and now a hit after the whistle on Ryan Koreski. So the first penalty went to Oswego, and I don't know if they're going to call the penalty or the late hit after the whistle. Doesn't look like it. So the official sees what he wants to, and they're going to get the freshman, number 23, Tyler Rivers, the defenseman, into the penalty box.
Boy, Pat, and I spoke too soon. I was just saying that Elmira looked undisciplined out there. But all of a sudden, for Petty's goal, they get a great centering pass and put it home, and now Oswego's making a lot of turnovers.
As you spoke too soon, I spoke too soon, and I did lie to you. I'm sorry. Mark Mazzetti did get called for that hit on Koreski after the whistle. So matching penalties, and we'll play 4-on-4. something Drew Ciavi says normally benefits the Lakers, but tonight it looks like the 5-on-5 is really benefiting the Lakers. But nonetheless, we'll go 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes with 15:10 to go in the third period. Face-off won by Elmira, dropped down in front of Scott. A lot of traffic, but nothing as Elmira looks to set back up. This is Man. Man leaves it behind. Puck loose out in front of Scott. Luckily, Rozak was there, and he flips it up. Here come the Lakers. Rozak with Perrier. Perrier dumps it down for Rozak. Rozak's got Jet at the point. He gets it to Jet. Jet, quick shot. Out front, redirected. Perrier can't get it past Fargo, and he quickly covers it up. So Greg Fargo saw a really quick shot from Brian Jet. Got it redirected by Perrier, but was lucky enough to cover it up with 1:34 to go in the match penalties. 14:45 to go in the third period, and we're knotted up at 2 from the Golden Romney Fieldhouse on the campus of Oswego State.
Nice save there by Fargo. Brian Jet not really known for his scoring touch, but putting one right in front there. Perrier almost able to put it past him. Fargo able to track it down, though.
Face-off won by Elmira. They bring it back around Fargo. Up to Conkle. Good stick and turnover. Perrier leaves off for Rozak. Rozak tried to center. Nobody home. He had Perrier in the turnover, but nobody was home. So Kevin Tracy with the puck now in the neutral zone. Looks to get up to Rozak. Shot goes awry. Elmira now looking for a 3-on-2. Centering pass to Conkle. That goes no good. Puck bounces around the boards behind the freshman Ryan Scott, who's played a great game tonight in for Brett Leonhardt. Here come the Lakers, 1:03 to go in the 4-on-4, 14-13 to go in the third. Lakers dump down, look for a line change, and they get it. This is Woodward coming back around the net. Line change in the form of Patrick. The full there, turnover. Don Patrick out front, quick shot, saved by Greg Fargo. What a turnover for the Lakers. Ryan Woodward got the turnover. Don Patrick was literally wide open in front of Fargo, the one-timer, but Greg Fargo covers it up for Elmira.
Fargo really showing his great lateral movement right there, able to keep the eye on one side of the ice and then quickly come over to the other side of the crease and take away the lane of opportunity for Johnny Patrick, just blocking off the quick shot there.
The Fulton native didn't get all of his stick on it, so face-off coming left side of Fargo. It's won by Elmira. Chris Mann, 45 seconds to go. He'll be the man and anchor this Elmira Soaring Eagles charge as they get up center ice. Turnover, 2-on-1 for the Lakers. Patrick Scott Woodward. Patrick walking in, shot off to the right side of Fargo. Nobody put a stick on him, and we're going to have a delayed offsides, I believe. No, I believe it's a delayed offside.
Looked like a delayed offsides call, but the referee's rumbling up. We'll see there's a penalty along with it. I think it was just an offsides call.
So it is just a delayed offsides. I can't even hear myself think. We're starting to get a Lakers chant going, and stop the noise. It's just a vibration. I can't hear.
And Donnie Patrick, Pat and Joe, back-to-back, he's had 2 great scoring chances, hasn't been able to capitalize, but if he gets another couple, or even if the whole Oswego team gets one more, it could be another goal on the board. They're starting to catch Elmira's defensemen flat-footed, like a bunch of construction workers staring down a manhole.
Don Patrick, he's from 15 minutes away in Fulton. He's the preseason honorable mention All-American, as there's a puck goes about 35 feet in the air, up over the net. Finally, there's a whistle.
I was going to say, that did hit the net, I think.
It definitely hit the net, so we're going to have a face-off with 16 seconds to go in the matching penalties. Craig McDonald is still in the box for the 10-minute misconduct. 13:27 to go in the third period. The score is tied at 2. And I just said more numbers in the last 2 minutes than I've ever said in my life.
You mentioned Johnny Patrick being from Fulton. Tyler Schrepp of Elmira also from Fulton. His older brother Robbie, as some of you may know, a first-round draft pick in this past June's NHL draft by the Edmonton Oilers. So obviously some talent going on to the family gene.
Turnover right in front of Fargo as the freshman D'Annunzio played good defense. Turned it over in front of Fargo and couldn't get a full stick on it. Fargo hit the ice. D'Annunzio hit the ice, and there's a whistle. And I don't know if they're going to get D'Annunzio on a penalty.
I don't think they should. He got pushed in the back by the Elmira defenseman.
And they're going to get Elmira. They're going to get number 11, Jared Conkle. So Jared Conkle goes off the ice. So for the next 5 seconds, we're going to continue. We'll play 4-on-3. The Lakers will have a one-man advantage. And then once the 5 seconds expires, they'll have a 5-on-4 advantage. So good opportunity for the Lakers to take the lead back here with 13:16 to go in the third period. Face-off won by Richard, then it's lost by Dufour. Fight going on, or scrum rather going on. It's finally controlled by the Lakers. We're back to 5-on-4 action for the next minute 55. The freshman D'Annunzio tees it up in its right side of Fargo. The Lakers now with the puck. This is Gilligan to Tracy, who's anchoring this. And I think we're going to have a whistle. I think he was sitting in the lane a little too long, much like the 3-second call in basketball.
Yeah, the crease violation is the call right there with 12:57 left in regulation here. Still 1:42 left for the Lakers. Let's see if they can take advantage of the full 2 minutes. Hopefully they won't shoot themselves in the foot and put another man in the box.
As Joe Kelleher says, the Lakers need to stay scot-free on this power play and cash in. They can't commit a penalty and go back to 4-on-4 action as Tracy with the puck dumps it back around the boards to the freshman D'Annunzio to Dufour. Dufour, the defenseman, to Tracy, the defenseman. Quick shot, tees it up. Fargo, I don't know how he saw it, but he did, and here comes Elmira 2-on-2. Elmira quickly, Siebold made a nice move, but loses it, and here come the Lakers right back the other way. This is Richard, who gives it up to Gilligan. Gilligan couldn't get a stick on it, delayed offside, and it's waved off for some reason. I thought they were offside, but good defense by Elmira now as Richard finally gets the puck back. They're looking to set up, 1 minute to go, quick shot, Fargo didn't see it, it went past him. Rebound out in front, didn't get enough stick on it, Elmira finally clears.
Oswego's power play is finally starting to step up, Pat. They really look like they're attacking, and this is a product of Coach Ed Gosick is moving his players around, trying different lines out there on the power play to see what kind of effectiveness he can get.
Speaking of the power play, 40 seconds to go in the power play, 12 minutes to go in the period. As Woodward now with the puck fighting behind Fargo. It's kicked out, and Elmira's got a 2-on-1 as they flip it up the ice. This is number 9 for Elmira, Hawk. Andrew Hawk had a 1-on-1 opportunity but couldn't get it. Woodward now, he gives it to Rozak. Rozak to Patrick as they try to set up for the next 25 seconds on the penalty. Katari's back on the ice. Quick shot out front, Fargo, rebound, no good, and we're going to have a penalty as the official's got his arm in the air, and Elmira's going to go back to the box, and we're going to have a slashing call, and it's going to go to number, is that 18? I believe it's number 18, Darcy Petty.
McDonald returning to the box for Elmira. He's covered this 10-minute misconduct penalty, but nonetheless, 14 seconds here.
It's Brandon Rose. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I got to correct myself. Brandon Rose will go 2 minutes for slashing. As you mentioned, Mike McDonald back on the ice.
Yep. McDonald back onto the ice now, skating over to the bench, but 5-on-3 for the Lakers for 14 seconds. Then they still got 5-on-4 after that.
5-on-3 has been a nightmare for the Lakers this year. They can't cash in. This is Katari. Quick shot.
There is nobody on Rozak down by the pipe.
Great defense as the quick shot by Katari. 8 seconds to go in the 5-on-3 as Patrick looks up out front, redirected. No good. Fargo gets his pad out there. Elmira definitely tries to clear. 2 seconds to 5-on-3. Patrick redirected once again. We're back to 5-on-4 action as Conkle's back on the ice.
Oswego's doing a great job of moving without the puck. It's something that's an underrated talent in hockey, but they're moving their players around and trying to get position.
Rozak to Patrick. 90 seconds go out front. Woodward gets a stick on it, but gets it over the head of Fargo. Back to Patrick. Katari at the point. Katari to Patrick. Patrick very calmly with the puck. He tees it up now. Quick shot redirected again by Woodward, but this time it goes up over into the net and out of play. So with 1:14 to go in the number 16 Brandon Rose penalty, the Lakers will have 5-on-4 and get a line change on. At 10:48 to go in the third period, we're knotted at 2. Paul Perrier line back on the ice. It's going to be Perrier, J.S. Richard, Tony D'Annunzio, the freshman who has 3 goals in 3 games, Ryan Koreski, and Kevin Tracy.
Lakers really putting a lot of pressure on Fargo so far in the first 45 seconds of the power play. Woodward was a real big threat in front, right in front of the net, parking out, redirecting a couple of them, but Fargo able to keep tracking him down and knocking him away.
Puck cleared by Elmira, 1 minute to go in the Rose penalty, 10.5 to go in the period. If Elmira could stop here, this would be huge. Here comes Richard. He's quick as a hiccup on the right side. He's got D'Annunzio out in front. Decides to pull back, gives it to D'Annunzio now. Elmira looks to clear, cannot. Kevin Tracy knocks it down. Slap shot, he wound up, and McDonald gave one for the team as he slid in front of it, and he's flipping off the ice. That had to hurt.
That's a great block by Craig McDonald, though. That's the kind of play you have to make as a top-line hockey player.
Oswego can't hold the zone, so we'll have a face-off with 36 seconds to go in the 5-on-4, 10-10 showing on the clock. 2-2 also showing on the clock. That's the score from the Golden Romney Fieldhouse.
And interesting enough, coming up on halfway through the third period here, the fog really starting to return to the ice over, especially in the Lakers zone. You look over, if you have the benefit of the TV right now, over on Ryan Koretsky's side of the ice later on, there is a whole lot of fog over on that side of the arena right now.
Elmira wins the face-off, and they dump it down right behind Ryan Scott. Still 27 seconds to go. A lot of time for Oswego to get something set up. This is Patrick who gives it up to Jocelyn Dubord. Dubord has a goal already tonight, looking for another one. He puts the puck around Morris and then chases. Still 15 to go. Can't set something up as they try right now with Patrick. Don Patrick does more than share his name with me. Up at the point, he loses it. Now the Lakers got to come back and get back onside as Patrick lost the puck trying to get it to Katari. The penalty will be go for nothing as the Lakers go 0 for on this power play. And a 5-on-3 they couldn't cash in, and a 5-on-4 they couldn't cash in. So the same old story for the Lakers. Cannot cash in on the penalties as Ryan Scott sees a quick shot, and he gloves it and covers it up with 9:23 to go. Face-off coming in the Lakers zone.
And again, it's a product of Elmira's PK team. They're really out there. You could see guys like Dubord and Qatari trying to dump it into the middle, but the space just wasn't there. The PK for Elmira is playing at the best of their game right now, collapsing right in the center and protecting Fargo's lanes of vision.
Andy Rozak to take the face off. He'll lock horns with number 28 for the Elmira Soaring Eagles. That was Jason Castles. And it's won by Rozak up ice, but quickly dumped back down in the Oswego zone. Scott leaves off for Koreski behind the net. Koreski goes down as the Lakers want to call, as Koreski took a stick to this ankle, and there's going to be no call. The Lakers bench really wanted it. The coaching staff dumped down in front of Scott. Weird bounce, but Scott covers it up.
This fog is getting really bad over on the Laker end of the ice.
And right there, after Koreski fell down, we saw a man for Elmira take a spill right down on the ice, and he wasn't even touched. So you wonder how soft it is down there and what the conditions are like.
You would have to imagine that part of the reason for the fog is it's a bit of a warmer night, especially for October here in Oswego. The temperatures outside might be having something to do with it. Getting a little, the temperature's fixing right here and kind of creating a fog in the Laker end of the ice. Might be harder to pick up the puck as the period goes along.
I wore a bathing suit and went swimming. It was so warm in Oswego here unseasonably. 8:52 to go in the third period. The Lakers now a scrum behind Ryan Scott as the hitting is starting to pick up. As Conkle was fighting with Richard. Out in front, the Lakers get it. Up ice, they got Gilligan to the board, and Trevor Gilligan lays a huge hit, and he's going to go to the... No, they're going to call a hand pass. Thought they were going to get him for roughing as he laid a huge hit on number 5 for the Soaring Eagles, Rick Lynch. And Trevor Gilligan is not the biggest guy in the world. To be exact, he's 5'9", 175 pounds. I'm bigger than him. And he laid a hit on for the Soaring Eagles. Number 5, Rick Lynch, was 5'9", 190, so he gave up 2 inches and about 15 pounds, and Trevor Gilligan didn't care. He just laid him out.
And if Oswego wants to win tonight, they're really going to have to make those types of plays. The fights along the border where they've excelled this evening, using their size and strength and tenacity to outmuscle Elmira's players.
Puck now into the Oswego zone as they try to get it up ice. This is D'Annunzio, the freshman. Makes a nifty move to go around, dives on the ice, looks to center to Gilligan, and we're going to have a penalty going to the Elmira Soaring Eagles, as that's something you don't hear often, a penalty to Elmira with 8:10 to go. Now is the time to cash in if you're Oswego.
Yeah, most definitely. We did not take advantage of it last time. Here we go with 8 minutes left. If we're able to pick up a power play goal right here, that would swing the momentum right back around, give it to us, get the crowd back in this game, and then we can try and play defense and try and hold on and coast to a victory here. But we have to take advantage of this 5-on-4 opportunity with 8:10 left in this third period.
Drew Schiavi's going to listen for the penalty and who it was. I did not see who it was.
I believe it was assessed to Rick Lynch, number 5 of Elmira.
Here's a turnover. Here comes Campanelli short-handed out front. Ryan Scott save, and he covers it up. So a good opportunity for Elmira as Campolini had a turnover, short-handed opportunity, and Ryan Scott says no. Here come the Lakers right back up ice. Andy Rozak centering to Dubord. Here comes Campanelli again. He's got a partner this time. It's Seabold. It's Seabold and Campanelli. Seabold coming in, looking to center, loses the puck. Now back around the net as he waits for his teammates. There's a quick shot. Wister out for rebound shot. Saved by Ryan Scott. 2 quick saves by Scott. Here come the Lakers the other way. 4-on-3. Rozak decides to dump it into the boards. He's got Dubord, and the puck is now up into the seating area of Section Y. And wow, we'll talk about Ryan Scott on that last series of events.
2 huge plays by Scott right there to absolutely bail out the sloppy play by the Lakers. The Lakers are have a 5-on-4 advantage, but yet they're not getting any opportunities. Elmira short-handed with 3 great opportunities to score on Ryan Scott, and they should not be able to have those opportunities playing short-handed. Ryan Scott really playing out of his mind, bailing out his teammates who are not playing well with a 5-on-4 advantage. They need to start attacking Elmira to try and pick up this lead.
1:12 to go in the penalty to Lynch. 7:15 to go in the period, as Oswego hasn't had a good opportunity to set up on this power play, as it's been all Elmira short-handed, barraging Ryan Scott, and he's put him away. Here comes Richard. Richard leaves off to D'Annunzio, and another clear for Elmira, so good job for the Elmira penalty kill with 50 seconds to go in the third. Scott leaves off for Kevin Tracy.
Something we've seen from Ryan Scott all night is you're seeing he's making these saves with his chest, but really he's making them with his legs. He's digging in with his skates and moving left and right and essentially taking these bullet shots right in his chest as opposed to taking them in a glove or a stick.
30 seconds to go. D'Annunzio out in front. He's got Dufour. He gives it to him at the point. Dufour looking to grip and rip. Good stick work out in front. Look for the redirection. No, go there as Elmira's not
knocks it away with a skate as they get it back to D'Annunzio, as the fog is really starting to lift on both sides now. Dufour, nifty stick work again, 10 seconds to go, looking to set something up, out front, redirected, Perrier's there, and so is Siebel. Siebel on his ice, out in front, on his stomach, and he covers up the puck as big Paul Perrier was looming on the doorstep, and Greg Fargo did not answer the door.
Yeah, finally Oswego putting some pressure on right there. Perrier, the big guy in front, playing the role what Mike Lukacek would always do last year. The big guy in front trying to redirect it, but Fargo always able to keep an eye on the puck, covering it up with only 6 seconds left on the power play opportunity for the Lakers, so time slipping away on their 5-on-4 advantage here.
The freshman taking a face-off, John Duco, he's wearing number 9. He's out there with another freshman, C.J. Thompson. Won by Duco to Irwin, quick shot out front. I don't know how Greg Fargo saw that shot, but he covers it up with that big glove of his.
And we've seen Greg Fargo make these kind of saves all night. We've been talking time and again about the play of Ryan Scott, and Scott is having a great game, but Fargo is not playing any less well. I've run out of superlatives to describe the type of saves that Fargo's made tonight, even on the rare occasions his defense has failed him.
So with 1 second to go, the penalty kill all but over, and it officially is as the faceoff won but turned over in the zone. Duco tries to hold the zone. He's got Irwin out there. It's a good line last night. They played well. Irwin, a big hit, and he gets the puck. Good job to get it to Koreski at the point. Koreski out in front, another deflection. The rookie, C.J. Thompson, couldn't get it past Fargo. And here comes Elmira to the neutral zone, but no farther. It's Ryan Jent is there.
That's another turnover in the neutral zone for Elmira, which is something I would have thought they would have tried to work on between periods, but they keep seeming to turn it over.
Icy call with 5:44 to go in the third period. We're still knotted at 2 as the Soaring Eagles for the second straight night play from behind and tie it up on the number 9 team in the country, the Oswego State Great Lakers. Much like last season, Oswego started 9-0-3 last season, and then to finish out the season went 10-9. So a tale of two semesters for the Lakers last year. Looking to fix that this year.
Yeah, exactly. Lakers up to another quick start this year. Still unbeaten at 3-0-1. Elmira on the other end, 1 loss, 1 tie. Still has not won this year.
Quick shot out in front. Dufour, the rebound. Nobody there. The puck's still free. This is Dufour out front. Over the net of Greg Fargo. We're going to have a penalty. And if I'm not mistaken, the purple people ears will go back to the sin bin.
Golden opportunity for Jocelyn Dumoulin right there. Had an open shot, but put it just high as the net. But here we go again. We've said it twice this period. A must-score opportunity for the Lakers. They're 0 for 2 in their last 2 power play opportunities. They're going to get 1 more opportunity as it's Castle's going to the box for 2 minutes.
Jason Castle giving the Lakers every opportunity. They're handing them the game. They've seen 5-on-3s. They've seen 4-on-3s. They've seen 5-on-4s. The Lakers cannot cash in. Terrible 2 nights on the power play. Last night, 3 of 16. Tonight, they've only cashed in 0 times on that power play. Here's Dubois now with it. 1:54 to go in the power play. It just started. Woodward out front for Dubois. Nobody home. Passes there for the rebound. 1-on-1. Good save by Fargo once again as Dufour came over. And he gets taken down. No call. As Woodward now reps it around the boards. Up to Tony Dufour. Dufour to Woodward. Over the stick of Woodward to Kevin Tracy. Tracy gets it back, looking to center. Woodward looking to get it to point out in front like he normally is. Don Patrick desperately calling for the puck. They finally give it to him. He just gives it off to Dufour. Dufour to Patrick as they play catch. Patrick now wrister out front. Greg Fargo, another save with that pad. And there's some hitting going on after the whistle. And we're going to have another penalty. This one's going to go to number 26 of Elmira as he is livid. That is Steve Root, who just after the whistle took Ryan Woodward's head and shoved him down. Woodward didn't fall. And then Root went to the official like he was going to hit him. Obviously he didn't. But it looks like it's going to be matching. And Ryan Woodward, it's going to go off as well.
Brian, how frustrating.
That call at all. Root skidding over to the box very quickly and slamming the door behind him. But nonetheless, like you said, the Oswego penalty box is opened up. Looks like Woodward's going to serve one as well.
Brian, how frustrated is this Elmira penalty kill squad with Woodward? He's been sitting in front of the net all night just trying to make 1 or 2 plays, and it looks like it's finally starting to boil over on both sides. He's sick of dealing with them, and they're sick of looking at him.
We'll wait for the official call as Dubois and Mann, the 2 captains, over talking to the officials. Hopefully that chant in the Romney isn't picking up over the microphones with 4:54 to go in the third period.
Man's letting the referees know what they think about the call.
I think there's some kind of prisoner barter going on over with the refs.
We'll wait for the PA guy here at the Romney to make the muzzled call. The one thing I don't like about the Romney, bad acoustics.
Well, you can't have everything, Pat.
Well, you're in a hangar.
Basically, yeah.
I think we're going to have a call coming now, as it looks like we're going to stay. Here it comes now as we'll wait for the call. think he said that number 31, Greg Fargo, got called for slashing, but Fargo's the goaltender.
Yeah, Fargo got the penalty being served by number 28.
Steve Roop. So Fargo, the goaltender, gets the slashing call.
Fargo doing his best impression of Billy Smith.
As there's a whistle and a stoppage of play, no surprise there. In any event, Fargo stays on the ice. Roop goes off, Woodward goes off, and 4:42 to go in the third period. Still 109 in the penalty that it seemed like it was 20 minutes ago to Jason Cassells.
So it's a 5-on-4 opportunity still for the Lakers. 4:42 left in regulation, 109 left in the power play.
And there's a haul down right in front of us, and Ryan Koreski is going to go join Ryan Woodward in the penalty box. Are they going to call it both ways? Ryan Koreski just hauled down Justin Siebold.
I was about to say, from what I saw, it looked like it could have been called either way. Siebold definitely made some contact in there as well.
I think these officials are just trying out these new whistles. This is ludicrous. What's going to happen, as I mentioned, once you get into conference play with the teams of Plattsburgh and Potsdam, these games are going to take forever. Last night's game went to 9:45. Already we're sitting at, was it 9:15? 9:20 minutes after 9. And we're just going to wait for the official call once again, and we're going to stay 5. This time we're going to go 5-on-3. So
while you're listening,
crazy game.
While you're listening for the call, this goes full circle back to what we were talking about earlier, where Laker coach Eddie Gosick said these refs have got to let these kids play. They're hockey players. There's going to be contact, and the refs are a little bit tight on it this evening.
Division III's really stepped up this season, calls away from the puck, and we're really seeing it so far.
2 minutes for diving, the call on Siebold. Koreski's called. So 2 minutes for obstruction on Koreski, but they said that Siebold won the Academy Award and did a diving, so we're going to play 5-on-4. The Lakers with the 5-on-4 advantage. And I think the PA guy just asked for a new pencil because he's running out of lead over there to write all this stuff down.
Still 1:03 left for the 5-on-4 opportunity for the Lakers. We keep getting these stoppage and play, and guys going over to Hotel Romney over there. Last week we had as many as 10 guys at once in the box. Right now we have 5, 3 for Elmira and 2 for the Lakers.
It was like that last night. At one point, Elmira had 5 guys in the penalty box at home. Now number 27, Nick Kiela, he'll skate over to the penalty box, and he's going to sit in the penalty box. So now the Elmira Eagles have 4 guys in the penalty box. The Lakers have 2. And number 27, Nick Kiela, just skated over.
He's been assessed with a 2-minute minor. I don't know why.
Charge to the Elmira bench. That's why Kiela skated over. So another interesting call.
All right, so a misconduct, as you mentioned, to the bench. We got 5-on-3 for the Lakers. If they can't cash in here, they might as well fold up shop because they pulled it up like a cheap tent yesterday. Something you don't want to see them do. Those like Patrick at the point to Rozak. Rozak to Patrick.
Boy, and it's getting awfully foggy down there. You wonder what Fargo can really see.
Good point to make right here as it's late in the game. Out in front, Dubois redirected, couldn't get it past Fargo. As we still got 34 seconds to go in the 5-on-3 to Patrick, the Fulton native. He's got Katari with the puck now. Back to Patrick, to Richard. 5 forwards on the ice for the Lakers. Patrick, Richard, Rozak, Dubois, and Rozak. Nice find the back pass to Patrick. Richter out front, redirected, no. Can't get it past Fargo yet again. 10 seconds to go in the 5-on-3 to Dubois. Patrick, now Richter. Fargo stops him again and covers up the puck. Don Patrick is not having a good luck tonight with Greg Fargo. This is about 4 or 5 shots that Patrick has a clear opportunity, and Fargo has Patrick's number.
You have to give a lot of credit to Fargo. Like we've been mentioning, the fog getting very, very bad in the arena here. Fargo able to track down every shot coming at him. He's just getting peppered right now, but not letting anything go by him. Keeping it at a 2-2 game with a 5-on-3 disadvantage for Elmira.
Boy, and that pass to Patrick went out to the point, but they had Dubois sitting there flat-footed. He might have had a shot.
Out front, Don Patrick once again can't get it past Fargo as it goes wide. So back on the ice is Cassells. His penalty is over. We're back to 5-on-4. There's another takedown. No calls, no surprise. And there's a high sticking delayed, and they're going to call it. So a delayed high stick call finally gets called. 3:25 to go. Katari's looking like he can't believe it. He's pleading his case. 44 seconds to go in the bench penalty. So in about 44 seconds, we should be back to even strength. Should. But I need a scorecard because I can't keep track of everything.
Nonetheless, we just had about a half a minute of a 5-on-3 opportunity. Could not take advantage of that. Here's 44 seconds now of 5-on-4. We can't stress it enough. The Lakers need to take advantage of these opportunities.
Face off, won by the Lakers. Rozak gets it to Katari, to Dubois, back to Katari, out front. feet, but it hit the post. Gets it back to Rozak. 38 seconds to go. Plenty of time for the Lakers to set up. They're looking to get it Patrick out front. Redirected again. Fargo swats it away. Rozak is there. Good defense by Morris as he looks to clear. Out front, center and pass. Tony Dufour gets pushed down, no call. Dufour with the puck now up top to Patrick. At the point, Patrick to Katari. And the fog is really starting to lift. And you bring up a good point. I don't know what the goalies can see. And here comes the short-handed opportunity. It's Craig McDonald out in front. Shot. Good defense, hauled down by Sean Katari, and we're going to have another penalty as Sean Katari is going to go to the sin bin for hauling down number 17, Craig McDonald, who had a breakaway opportunity, shorthanded, and Katari did all he could do and just took him down and didn't give him an opportunity to beat Ryan Scott.
Hate to say it, but that's a penalty he almost had to take, a shorthanded breakaway opportunity for McDonald. Katari did everything he could and finally had to haul down his man. He don't want to take a penalty, but right there, he saved the goal by hauling down his man. We'll see if the Lakers can kill it off. But right now, it stands as a good play for Coach Harry because right now, Elmira did not get on the board. We'll have to see if the Lakers can step up to the challenge and kill this off.
4-on-4 for the next 8 seconds. Face off one by McDonald. He gets it back to Morris. Out front, redirected. Good save by Ryan Scott. Instead of covering it up, he gets it up to D'Annunzio to center ice and back on the ice. For the Elmira Soaring Eagles, number 27, Nick Kiella. So the bench minor is over. Richard gets in for Kiella. So we're going to have 5-on-4 for the Eagles for the next minute 40 seconds. 2:26 to go in the third period.
And that's a great play by Scott to not freeze that puck and move it back out past the blue line because that costs valuable seconds on the power play and makes Elmira have to reset.
Here comes a short-handed opportunity. The freshman D'Annunzio out in front, and he gets hauled down, and after Greg Fargo covered it up, D'Annunzio runs into Fargo, but I think that was just a matter that he had so much momentum, and I think they wanted a call for the simple fact that D'Annunzio ran into Fargo, and I think Fargo understands that D'Annunzio had way too much momentum, and he couldn't stop in time.
Yeah, they wanted the goalie interference call, but like you said, he did not turn on the jets right there to the blue line, really going after that puck. Got the shot off late, like you said, he had to slow down the momentum. He couldn't do it until after he got the shot off. Just happened to collide with the goalie. A good no call right there by the referees.
2 minutes and 10 seconds to go in this third period. What a third period it's been. 1:26 to go in the penalty. The Lakers shorthanded for the next 90 seconds. Face off one by Perrier, but quickly controlled by Elmira. And they're looking to, they got to cash in on this one. If they score here, it could be virtually be over. 2 minutes to go in the period. Man with the puck, he's got Mazzetti. Perrier out there along with Koreski. As they both get chased. Right back to Mann. Mann was ejected last night, but playing tonight. Puck takes a weird bounce off the boards behind Ryan Scott. Could we see overtime for the second straight night? Call, here come the Lakers. We got a 2-on-2, now a 3-on-2. This is Koreski, good offensive defenseman. To Gilligan. Gilligan, a forward, loses the puck to the bigger and stronger Mazzetti, and then gets taken down, and here comes another call to the Soaring Eagles, and Trevor Gilligan got taken down by Mazzetti, as I just said, bigger and stronger, and for the next 47 seconds, we're going to see 4-on-4 action, and then the Lakers catch a break, and we'll play the rest of the third period 5-on-4, barring another penalty.
How many penalties have there been in this game? Trevor Gilligan really doing a good job setting things up right there, attacking in the Elmira zone shorthanded, putting all the pressure on the Elmira defense, and Elmira trying to get the 5-on-4 advantage back, showing the frustration, hooking down Gilligan from behind, and they get the penalty.
Tonight's game has the feel of the SUNYAC title game last year. Quick shot out front, Brian Jett couldn't get it past Fargo. 1:25 to go in the period. The Lakers need to catch in the rookie. D'Annunzio couldn't get it past Fargo. It's Jett right there with the puck. He's playing him and Dufour in as the defenseman. They'll play the blue line. Richard turns it over by McDonald. Turn right back over to Richard. Richard looking to center, now goes around the net. Makes a nifty move looking for D'Annunzio. Back to Jett at the blue line. 22 seconds to go. The 5-on-4 out front. Fargo sticks it away. 1 minute to go in the period. Conkle with the puck now. 14 seconds to go in the 5-on-4. Puck desperately trying to be cleared by the Soaring Eagles, and here they come. It's Jared Conkle. He's got Greg McDonald. Conkle leads off for McDonald, but nobody was there. Good defense by the Lakers, and a turnover. Don Patrick, oh my, he had a one-on-one breakaway, but wasn't quick enough. We got a minute 10 of power play. For 38 seconds to go, the Lakers are playing 5-on-4. It is tied at 2 and it's cleared down. 30 seconds to go in the third period. The Lakers with a man advantage for the rest of the third period. We're tied at 2. Can the Lakers in the next 25 seconds get a goal and steal one? You would think steal one here at the Romney, a game in which they should have put the Elmira Eagles away. 15 seconds to go. Out to center ice. One more desperation. This is Katari. He's down the right side looking to center. He's got Patrick. Puck knocked away by Elmira. 10 seconds on the board. Dubourg with the puck. Looks like the Lakers are going to try to freeze and go to overtime. As Qatari down to 2 seconds, down to 1 second, and it's finally cleared, and the third period is over. Oh my. But
Touch there, Pat.
2-2 is where we are at the end of the third period, and for the second straight night, the Oswego Lakers and the Elmira Soaring Eagles will play overtime.
We will keep it right here. It'll be a 3-minute little break between periods right here. When we start overtime, the Lakers will carry over the 5-on-4 power play opportunity for another 30 seconds. So they'll start off the first 5 minutes of overtime with 30 seconds of a power play opportunity. A nice way to try and get things started for them. But like we said all third period, the Lakers have needed to take advantage of the power play opportunities. They had so many chances in the third period with a man up, sometimes 2 men up, and they could not get one past Fargo, who played a great third period.
Greg Fargo played like he played last night. He's playing like a netminder that you would see in an AHL or NHL game, stepping up. And this team right now, you mentioned they don't have a win tonight. But you look at this team right now, they won the ECAC West last year. They lost Lonnie Snyder, who was an All-American last year. As I'm looking up, fans are filing out the building for some reason. They're going to miss a heck of an end because this happened last night in Elmira. Fans left when the Soaring Eagles were down 2. All of a sudden they got in their car and they turned on WNYO because we are the best, and along with TOP, and they heard that they tied it up. So for the second straight night, as we mentioned, overtime, 2-2 this time, 1:50 to go till the drop of the puck of overtime. Still 30 seconds to go in the penalty to Mark Mazzetti. So the Lakers will start the overtime with a 5-on-4 advantage. You would think that they put the 5 forwards out there and try to get this thing over with.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we saw everything getting thrown out there by the Lakers. Saw a lot more than 3 forward, 2 defender set up in the third period, but nothing was working for them. They had so many opportunities, like we said. A 5-on-3 for about 45 seconds, could not capitalize. Another minute 15 following that up, a 5-on-4, could not capitalize. They had so many one-man up opportunities. I'd say for a good probably about 6 minutes, the Lakers had a 5-on-4 or a 4-on-3 advantage, at least one man up advantage in that third period, and they could not get one past Fargo, who played out of his mind in the third period. You got to give a lot of credit to him and to the Elmira defense for keeping this at a 2-2 game.
Drew Shiabi, tell me, what does Oswego need to do differently this time on the power play?
Honestly, believe it or not, the best thing they can do is just hold out, because the PK team for Elmira is playing so well right now. I don't know if Oswego thinks they can get one by them. Oswego's best chance is after the power play ends to play 5-on-5 hockey. They're playing their best game when they have the freedom to roam along the boards and play physical. And when they have the man advantage, they can't do that, and certainly not when they're shorthanded. Their best chance is to go man up with Elmira's defense and see what they can create in the middle.
The fog starting to subside a little bit as both teams left the ice for a couple minutes, allowing the fog to kind of clear up for a little bit. We'll see if that helps things in overtime here. And we're about 30 seconds away from dropping the puck here in overtime. Again, the Lakers will start with a 5-on-4 opportunity.
A very bad verbal fight has broken out just to the right of us between 2 fans.
Boy, this monster is getting even worse out on the ice, but it doesn't seem to have affected either goalie. They're continuing to make the great saves they've been making all night.
Greg Fargo, we mentioned, has played outstanding. He needs to do it again. Here we go. Drop of the puck in overtime from the Romney Fieldhouse. Andy Rozak will take it and win it. It's controlled by the Lakers, now dropped into the neutral zone as Elmira quickly dumps down and tries to clear. They got to kill for another 20 seconds. A man advantage. A bad bounce one way, and this could end it. Do or die for both teams. Here comes Don Patrick through the mitts. Patrick splits 2 defenders, and we're going to have an offsides call. I don't know if they got Dubourg with it. Must have been Dubourg because he doesn't like it. So 12 seconds to go in the penalty, 4:42 to go in the third period. Or rather in overtime. I keep forgetting. We're in the fourth period.
Well, it's the fourth period if you want.
Well, they put a 4 on the board, so I can officially call it a quarter.
Lakers going to have to win this face-off right here if they want to get a one more push with a 5-on-4 advantage.
And they don't win it, as you mentioned. Elmira wins it, and they try to dump it down. Good job by Dubourg to keep it in the neutral zone. As he dumps it into the boards, 3 Lakers give chase. I'm not sure what the call is. Oh, icing call. So icing call on the Lakers for another 3 seconds. Elmira has done everything but kill this power play, and pretty much they will, with 4:33 to go in overtime.
And if the lines stay the same, look out, because Woodward is out there, and he's got Chris Mann, or it looks like Chris Mann is assigned to him. Mann has not looked nearly as impressive on his last few shifts. I don't know if he's getting tired or losing focus or what the story is, but Woodward still has that vision that he's always displayed, and he might be able to beat Mann with it.
Face off won by Elmira. Back on the ice is number 22, Mark Mazzetti. Here come the Lakers in overtime. Here comes Don Patrick. He's got a one-on-one. 50-move shot. Stoned by Greg Fargo again. Don Patrick has not had any luck tonight against Greg Fargo.
Coming in on the breakaway. Great stick handling by Don Patrick. Tried to deke out Fargo, but he followed the puck the whole way. Patrick trying to go 5-hole and fake out Fargo, but Fargo closing the doors and covering up the puck with 4:19 left. Fargo with another brilliant save.
Brilliant is an underestimation. 4:19 to go in overtime. The Lakers going to change. Jet and Tracy back on. Watch Tracy if they win the faceoff. Forget about it. It's won by Elmira. This is Morris. Morris being played by Richard and the freshman D'Annunzio. D'Annunzio looks like he comes away with the puck. He's trying to get it to Tracy. Makes a nifty move. Gets it to Richard. Elmira players are laying on the ice. Out in front, centering pass. They got Gilligan, who gets it up. Quick shot. Jet over the head of Fargo. Bad bounce. And it's good. Finally controlled by Elmira as they take a bad bounce for Elmira. As Oswego gets a turnover now, and they turn it right back over to Elmira as he looks for Conkle. Good work in the neutral zone by J.S. Richard as he makes a pass to the freshman D'Annunzio. They're looking for an icy call, not going to get it. Fargo comes out of the net, play down to the right side of us, up against the boards. Dufour out in front, centers to Gilligan. Gilligan couldn't get a stick on it. 3:30 to go in overtime. We're tied at 2. Hit up against the boards. Trevor Gilligan. He's over there with Richard. Big McNain. Frank McDonald for Elmira. A chance. Let's go Lakers starting to pick up. Dufour gives chase to the puck in the neutral zone, and it goes all the way down into the Oswego zone. That missed it. Pick it up. They caught him on the line chain. Here comes Koreski. He's got Perrier out in front. Perrier couldn't get there, and they caught Elmira on the line chain, but he couldn't get it to Perrier. 3 minutes to go in the period. It's dumped down in the Oswego zone. And look at that fog, guys. You can't even see the puck. From our standpoint, we can't see the puck.
If Ryan Scott weren't wearing yellow pads, I don't know if I'd be able to see the bottom half of his body.
He's 5'10" to begin with. You barely see him. And as you mentioned, those big pads are the only reason we can see him. 3:05 to go in overtime. We're knotted at 2. It's Andy Rosette.
Because whatever end the guys are on the ice, that's where all the fog starts to lift up. Right now, it's kind of subsided on the fire end, but now everyone's on that end. I'm sure it'll...
Brian Jet out front, quick shot, rebound, nobody home for the Lakers. They had an opportunity as it's quickly dumped up the ice, and I believe they're going to call... I heard a whistle, but apparently they're still going to play. I thought I heard a whistle. I knew it.
I did too.
Down the play, down, dumped in for Shep and Shremp out in front of Ryan Scott, the freshman netminder. He's played well tonight, despite the 2 goals. Scrum behind Scott as it's brought up now. We're going to have a penalty. Something you don't want, and guess who's going to the box? The Lakers. 2:37 to go, and a huge break for the Soaring Eagles. Brian Jett, the defenseman, will go to the box for the next 2 minutes, and they're going to be asked to call on the Oswego defense to kill off a penalty and save a tie in overtime.
Elmira's been doing this all the second half of the game, killing off penalties. Now it's the Lakers' chance to have to do it. Elmira has done a great job. Anytime the Lakers have been up 5-on-4, successfully killing it off. Now they turn the tables, and it's the Lakers being shorthanded, and they're going to have the same tenacity that Elmira has showed defensively.
Faced off right in front of us, it's Richard and Craig McDonald. As I mentioned, the defense is going to be asked to save the game for the Lakers. Won by the Lakers. As Koreski dumps it way over the glass here at the Romney Fieldhouse and into a section.
He just about cleared everything.
He almost hit our cameraman.
They look to be all smiles over there in the bird's nest, so apparently nobody got hit. I suppose that's a plus.
They're safe because they got a net in front of them. All we got is nothing. 2:32 to go in overtime, tied at 2. 1:55 to go with the Brian Jett penalty. One in control by the Lakers in the neutral zone, dumped down behind Fargo. D'Annunzio is there. Fargo still out of the net. Controlled by Elmira. 2:20 to go in overtime. Here comes Elmira. It's Morris up to Conkle. Conkle's a great player. You got to put a body on him. He burned Oswego last night. Part of the reason why they came out with a tie, as it's to Morris, who holds the zone, no offsides. Soaring Eagles looking to center. Here's Morris, quick shot. Nice save by D'Annunzio off the shoulder, and Oswego's got a 2-on-1 if they hurry. It's Richard with the freshman D'Annunzio. Richard, nice fancy stick work. Comes in, quick shot, Fargo off the glove side, but couldn't get it past him. Hard hit on the board. Here comes Elmira right back 2-on-2. It's Conkle and McDonald. Turned over, good defense by the Lakers. Dropped in the zone. 1:45 to go in overtime. 1 minute to go in the Brian Jett penalty.
And on Scott's last save, he got pretty lucky. It bounced high off his protector.
Another turnover by Elmira. That one could have been costly, as it was Don Patrick looking for Woodward. And again, they can't clear. And now they finally do. And here comes Elmira 2-on-2. 3-on-2 now. They got McDonald. McDonald, wrister from the point. Shot saved by Scott. Out front rebound. Scott stops is stopping another shot, and the puck is loose, and it's caught by Ryan Scott. Oh my, Ryan Scott is playing like a proven veteran here tonight.
Put the pressure on the goaltenders here, and he stepped up to the challenge. Fargo's been doing it all night. Now with the pressure on Scott, at times winding down his team at a 5-on-4 disadvantage, making 3 brilliant saves right there, highlighted by a big glove save where he holds on to bring on the whistle and give the Laker defense a breather.
40 seconds to go in the Jet penalty, 1:15 to go in overtime. Elmira with the puck at the blue line, looking to set up quick shot out front, redirected, nobody home, the rebound goes, saved by Scott again. Ryan Scott for the 3rd time in overtime has made a huge save for the Lakers.
And Ryan Scott is just playing on top of his head right now. You can see he's making moves with his skates. He's digging right into that ice and moving left and right, shifting across the crease in a blast. And he looks like he's always got his chest right in front of the puck. He's looking right down at it. There was only 1 moment ago on that save where if that was tied that I think he lost sight of it.
Playoff atmosphere here tonight as it's won by Elmira. 28 seconds to go in the penalty. Quick wrist shot out front. Good job by Koreski to knock it away. 1 minute to go in overtime. 20 to go in the penalty. The Lakers need to kill for another 20 seconds. Here come the Lakers, a turnover. 3-on-2. They got Perrier with Dubourg. Dubourg with the puck. Leads off out front. Perrier. Another save by Greg Fargo. Equally as good tonight as Greg Fargo and Ryan Scott. And you're seeing a great game by 2 good goaltenders here tonight. One a proven veteran. One looking to make a mark.
Exactly. Ryan Scott in his first game here in Division III level. Fargo has appeared in a lot of games for Elmira and has played very well so far this season, equaling that task here tonight. But here we go on a 3-on-2 opportunity, short-handed for the Lakers, trying to get the crowd back into it. Pulling up, Dubourg got a good shot in, but
Lakers only have 3 guys on the ice. They finally get a 4th out there in D'Annunzio. So 48 seconds to go, 11 seconds in the penalty. Richard was going to take the face off, but now he gets booted, and Dubourg will come in. So short-handed right in front of Fargo. Lakers, good opportunity if they can win the face-off. They do win it, and it's turned over in the zone, and Conkle tries to get it up. Right back by Kevin Tracy, who dumps it down in the zone. Giving chases Dubourg. Dubourg is there. Brian Jett out. Brian Jett out of the box, out front, centering pass, nobody home. Fargo was off balance, 30 seconds to go in overtime. Here comes a late push by Elmira. 2-on-1, it's Conkle. As Lakers get back, Conkle leads off for McDonald, and a turnover, a costly one, as the Lakers couldn't get a stick on it. Right back to McDonald, centering pass, shot. Saved by Scott. The puck's still loose, and there's a huge scrum in front of the net, and a takedown by Jocelyn Dubourg on Craig McDonald. Oh my gosh. Ryan Scott is playing unbelievable. You can't say it enough.
Turnovers. The Lakers had one, then Elmira turned over, then the Lakers turned it right back over. Elmira with a 2-on-1 opportunity, and Scott absolutely robbed McDonald right there. A huge save with 17 seconds left, as though with a scuffle in front of the net, the puck got kicked up everywhere. I'm surprised he was able to track down the puck. Nonetheless, he did. Held on, 17 seconds left. Face-off will come to the Lakers zone.
Ryan Scott played the Hamburglar to Craig McDonald. 17 seconds, as you mentioned, in overtime. Face-off coming left side of Ryan Scott. It's Don Patrick. Won by Oswego to Dufour, to Woodward, up ice to Perrier, to Patrick. Patrick the breakaway. Here's an opportunity. Shot saved by Fargo. Rebound out in front. Another centering pass. Perrier's there, wide open net. Dufour can't get a stick on it, and now on the fight, and there's a huge fight.
Now the gloves are
Another
thrown.
fight has broken out. And much like Utica last week, another fight has broken out. The whistle has sounded, the game is over, and another fight has broken out in front of the Elmira goal as Tony Dufour is getting into it with number 12 for the Soaring Eagles. That's Andrew Morris, and they're talking about dropping the gloves. The official jumps in front of them. That's not going to be allowed. The whistle has blown at the end of overtime, but Tony Dufour is going to go be shown to the box anyway.
Dufour being
is that ceremonial?
On the ice are the Lakers, and this game is officially over with. And what a game it was from the Rodney Field house here tonight. A game in which the Lakers were up 2-1. A game in which the Elmira Eagles, much like last night, came back to tie it, to send it to overtime, and nobody scores in overtime. And I feel like I played the game tonight.
Exactly. I mean, the story in the last 15 minutes, the play by the goaltenders. Both of them had to face 5-on-4 disadvantages, and both of them were up to the challenge. You can't speak enough about how big both goaltenders came up. Fargo, of course, a seasoned veteran. Ryan Scott played out of his mind in his first appearance here for the Great Lakers, and you really have to credit his play. Did not show any butterflies at all in his first appearance here for the Lakers. Both goaltenders played great. had to make some big saves. They did so, and they salvaged a 2-2 tie.
So for the second straight night, we will see a tie. ECAC West. Look out for Elmira. They may have slipped early on in the season, but this team is good. Greg Fargo, as I said before, is a proven veteran. This team is very good. Elmira, ECAC West, could make another run this year, Drew.
Boy, it really looks like they could, because you simply can't say enough for tonight about their penalty-killing team and their goaltending. They play as a unit, and they played exemplary hockey by playing together and looking out for the puck. They collapsed on the center. They protected Fargo all night. He didn't really have that many opportunities to make great saves while Oswego was on the power play. Had to stand on his head the rest of the game for 5-on-5. But together they played a great team, and they played great as a team, and they tied up a great team like Oswego.
A great team, as you mentioned, a supposed great team, number 9 in the country. The Lakers are ranked. Some say that might be overrated. Some say that might be not enough. These freshmen, if they play like they played these first 4 games, as now we talk about conference play. We'll get to that in a minute. But these freshmen, especially Ryan Scott tonight. Now, if you're at Gosek, the way that Ryan Scott plays tonight, what do you do next week in Potsdam?
I think you still got to go with Brett Linhart. He is the starter coming into the season. He hasn't really played bad. He's had some bad breaks, giving up more goals, than Scott did here tonight. But, it's obviously a comfort to know that Scott is always there to be called upon. I think right now you still got to go with Linhart. He hasn't done anything to warrant him being benched at this point.
If you're watching on WTOP, we're now going to send it down to Adam DeSantis, who's with tonight's freshman goaltender, who played a great game. He's with Ryan Scott. Adam?
Thanks a lot, Pat. Ryan, tonight, your first start, how did it feel to be out there at the beginning of the game between the pipes for this team?
It just feels good, to contribute for the team and do anything I can to make this team successful, that's all.
How did your defense do? Did they do a good job of helping you clear the lanes? Were you seeing the puck all right tonight with all the fog and things?
They did a great job. Yeah, the fog just acted as a little bit of a contender out there about the red line, but everything else, I could see the shots, and, they cleared out and made a lot of blocks, and it was real easy, made it easy for me to make my first start, so.
So talking about the officiating, a lot of people have been saying, how they're cracking down on the rules, calling things a lot tighter. There was a lot of power play opportunities tonight. Just go through what's it like being, when you guys are a man down, what the mindset is when you're having to look at more shots than normal.
The mindset, just play defense, get the puck out, play our system there, and we'll be all set. We know we're going to call more penalties this year, and we're prepared for it, but it's pretty even. So just take advantage of our opportunities and, play as disciplined as possible on defense.
Now, as far as the rest of the season go, are you and Brett going to be sharing time? Is it going to be a rotation, or is Coach not let you guys know what's going on?
I'm not really sure about that. Let's just take it game by game, I guess.
You're just happy to be out there and get your first start out there.
Yeah, just happy.
Well, congratulations. You played a great game, and go join your team in the locker room.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, I'm going to now kick it over to TJ. TJ, take it away.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adam DeSantis. Great job on the interview, and the story of this game is without question the man that was just interviewed here by Adam DeSantis, who once again deserves a raise here from the staff at WTOP. Ryan Scott, without question, the story of tonight's game, playing terrific hockey, keeping the Oswego State Great Lakers in it at times. The Lakers had opportunities to win the game once it was tied up at 2. There were a number of different power plays. There were a number of even 5-on-3s that the Oswego State Great Lakers could have taken advantage of, did not, but Ryan Scott kept them close.
Oh, he absolutely did. Stood on his head, played an outstanding game. His first game in as a freshman, he played outstandingly well, and he kept the team in it. They were down 2 goals, or up 2 goals, I should say. They came back and tied it up, Elmira, I'm saying. Tied up the game, and it was all up to him to close out the deal, make sure they stayed tied and did not lose this game.
By the way, the humming you just heard was the presence of greatness as Ryan Scott was exiting the set. Talking a little bit about overtime, Scott really did keep them in the game. There were a number of big saves, particularly with 1:17 left to go in overtime, 1:09 left to go, and in 17 seconds left. Each time, those saves were the difference in the ballgame.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Right down here, he popped up in the air, did not lose concentration with all the confusion going on around him, all the skates. Made a great glove save up in the air. Kept on to the puck, held on to the puck, so there was no rebounds. And especially close, tight-knit games, sometimes your nerves will get to you and rebounds will bounce off. And he held tight and made sure that he held on to those shots.
We said in the pregame that the Oswego State Great Lakers had yet to lose, and Elmira, the Soaring Eagles, had yet to win, but these two teams were a lot more even than you thought. Turns out we were right. A tie last night, a tie tonight. The Oswego State Great Lakers have also yet to lose on this season. They are 2-0-2. Elmira has yet to win, but both of whom recorded themselves pretty well on this night. That'll wrap things up here from the Oswego State Great Lakers home, the Golden Romney Fieldhouse. For everyone here with Laker pregame, in-game, postgame, and Pat Bailey and company, I'm TJ Hatter saying good night.